Checkalook.
Welcome everybody to Crazy Train of Thought, brought to you by the Idiot Savants. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am your host, Ryan Wolf. We are live from Savant Studios. Joining me today, I have
Austyn Torres.
Austyn Torres is here, the pirouetted piercer himself. Thank you so much for joining us today, Austyn. In addition,
Pokemaster Troy Osborn.
Pokemaster Troy Osborn back on the pod. Thank you for being here, Troy.
On the pod.
I think the listeners probably thought you were dead.
I think so.
I'm glad you're not. I see that you took the liberty of growing a beard.
Again?
Yeah. I think you've grown 2 beards in the time.
Since I've been on the pod, yes.
In the time that I've grown 1, you've grown 2.
This is the longest it's been.
Okay.
I'm
proud of it.
Are you using the beard wash that I gave you?
Actually, that made me itch.
Oh, no
I
shit.
could not use it.
Damn.
Could not use it. I was like, this looks really nice and it smells good.
Yeah.
Made me itch.
Because it's already perfect. Why would you do anything else with it?
Fucking wash it.
Your beard,
what are you talking about?
your beard was like, ew, what is this? No, it's perfect. It's good as it is.
Yeah, it had that like beard grow juice stuff in it. And we don't need that.
No. We're good.
That one, well, I don't know which one you had.
Yeah.
There's like a million products, right?
Yeah.
But that one of them, some of them like mess my skin up. They give me bumps on my skin.
That one of them made me itchy, so I did not use it.
Itchy beard.
It's still in my shower.
Oh.
And I just
not disposed of
I
it.
just don't use it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's typically what happens to.
In case you want to take a ride down memory lane.
Yeah.
I just figure somebody's gonna use the soap for something.
You just open it up and smell it. Yeah, that does smell
It
good.
does smell good.
It does smell good.
Still makes me itchy though.
Yeah. Well, it's great to be back today talking to you guys back on the pod. We haven't recorded an episode in a little while. I went to England, and that was very cool.
True.
I was there a little bit over a week, so we couldn't really do anything while I was there, and the prep work for that was extensive. So,
Are you a duke or a duchess now?
I was knighted, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I saved a little boy. He was crossing the street, and I grabbed his arm, and I saved his arm.
Oh.
The rest of him, I should have, I'm just kidding. That did not happen. But I wanted to bring it up because I wanted to thank the Grief Burrito guys for giving me some tips on what to do in London. I reached out to those 2 guys, and they're fantastic. They gave me some really cool places to see. Camden Market. There's a theater around that same area to see a show. We did not get to the theater, did not get to see a show. Camden Market was cool. We went all over. We saw a bunch of dinosaur related stuff, natural history museum type things. We saw the apple tree that was planted
By Johnny Apples?
yeah. The well-known English and Johnny Appleseed. No, it's the apple tree that's planted in commemoration for Newton having the apple fall on his head. When he invented gravity.
Is it the real? So is it? Did they use that apple to?
No. So there's not even a fucking plaque.
Oh.
It's just like a tree planted in front of Cambridge College in Cambridge, UK. And when we drove up to Cambridge, we didn't even go there to we didn't even know that. We just walked by Cambridge College and what the fuck is this tree doing? So when we're following Google Maps, it's get Newton's apple tree.
Did you eat the forbidden fruit?
I did not. You're supposed to stay off the grass. Somebody's on the fucking grass because it's getting mowed. But I was not the mower of the grass.
Oh.
So I could not go to the tree and see, get a close up of Newton's apple tree. I was not permitted. Saw a lot of really cool stuff though, like literally buildings older than the country that I live in. And that's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's like being in a church from the 1200s. You're like, how many fucking people have been here? And Rachel's like, don't say fuck.
You're the house of God.
Right. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
I repent.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot different there. We rented a car and I drove.
Oh, no.
I drove.
How did that go?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a fucking disaster. Just like the rules are different, right?
Yes,
so I'm on the passenger side of the car. I'm on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
So all my left turns are backwards. My right turns are backwards.
Nope.
And
You were backing up the whole time?
yeah, we were driving in reverse.
This is how you do it.
Then it's not backwards.
Yeah. No, so I almost rented a manual and saved myself $30 US. I'm so glad I didn't. I don't drive a manual. I don't drive a stick in general. I can drive a stick. I just don't do it every day.
Yeah.
But my boss at work, I told him, oh, we're going to rent a car and I'm probably going to get this manual. And he's like, well, aren't you going to be on the wrong side of the car? And I was like, well, yeah. And he goes, won't you have to shift with your left hand? And I go, oh, fuck.
No.
Oh, fuck.
Nope.
Yep.
How the fuck am I going to shift with my left hand? It doesn't. I couldn't find the fucking put it into park me. I'm like, I swear it took me 5 days to remember, like, okay, the car is stopped. I'm going to take my left hand, muscle memory, put this into park. Because every time, like, reaching for the gear shift, I'm over here getting out of the door. And Rachel's like, you got to put it into park. And I'm like, I fucking know. Let me drive. Like, this is worse than it looks, okay? This is harder to do. But luckily, like, pedals are the same. Right foot, gas.
Turn signal.
Yeah. Turn signal also the same. We drove a little Toyota Yaris, and I'm used to driving. I drive a Camry, so kind of the layout is very similar on the dashboard and stuff. So it's all a little bit more familiar than it probably could have been if we would have got like a European brand car that would be completely foreign. So, but yeah, trip was fantastic. We did get honked at a couple of times. There are a million roundabouts.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So it's almost all roundabouts. I think we saw 3 stop signs, and most of the signage, or a lot of the signage, some of it's, up and you can like see it like you can in the United States, but a lot of it's just painted on the road.
It's painted on the road, yeah.
So you really got to pay attention. Like if you're coming up to a T, you got to know if it's your stop, and they're not stop signs, they're yield signs most of the time. And the yield is called a giveaway. So you stop. Like it's a T, you pretty much stop. Everybody else stops. Yield signs are basically stop signs in the UK. Everybody here, if you see a fucking yield sign, you're lucky if you slow down.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to slow down enough to take the curve. But like, I'm not, okay, the speed limit is followed there. Continuing on the driving thing, like people just go the speed limit. There's a national speed limit and the symbols are different. And by symbols, I mean some of the roads just have symbols and not numbers. So like there's like a slash. It's like a gray or a white. Sometimes it's white, like a horizontal slash. And that means this road is the national speed limit. And the national speed limit is like dependent on what size road you're on. So if you're on like a highway or a motorway, that's what they call it over there, it's 70. So 70 miles per hour.
But theirs is not.
No,
miles.
It's miles.
Oh,
It
it's
isn't.
miles. Oh.
It's 70 miles an hour, but you fill your car up in liters, but it gets miles per gallon. So I'm like, what the fuck? How much? I don't know how much gas is. Like,
They use miles. They don't
yes,
use
it's
kilometers.
in miles. It measures it on the car in miles per gallon, miles on the highway, and then when you fill up, it's liters. And I thought
What's
that
the
was
point?
bizarre.
Yeah, what's the point?
Just bizarre.
Miles per liter.
I don't know. I don't know how many miles per liter I get.
mile
My
per
car gets
liter.
miles per gallon, but I put 20 liters in. Yeah.
What? Oh, so I never even really thought of this. If you go to a different country, do you have to get your own driver's license, or your
So,
driver's license?
That's a good question. I also looked into that before we left.
Yeah.
I was the trip planner, so we didn't like hire anybody to do it. It was just me. I'm like making calls back and forth to the UK and shit. And I looked up we rented it through Hertz. So I wanted like kind of a reputable company. There's like 17 companies to rent from, and the rental car could cost anywhere from like $120 for 9 days, which seems low.
Yeah. What?
$600. I'm like, that's maybe a little high. So I went with just Hertz is a company I've heard of. I've never rented through them before. Seemed fine.
Yeah.
They offered insurance, like our car insurance and our health insurance, non-applicable in the UK. So if we would have crashed the car and or been beheaded, you're done.
I mean, you would have been done either way.
I suppose so. If I would have lost an arm, how about that?
Health insurance does not cover that.
Sorry, you're
You
gone.
reattach this? Yeah, but if we would have been injured over there, it wouldn't have counted. So I looked it up. There is an agreement, like the Geneva Convention for driving. So these certain countries have standards that they have set for their citizens in terms of driving capabilities, and those countries are all listed. So you've got like the UK, Germany, it's a lot of European countries, Canada. And your driver's license works if you go to that country, but they do not tell you how to drive. So when you go to get the keys, you pay whatever it is. I still had some, I booked it online, but I still had some to pay, the insurance and stuff when I got there. And they're like, okay, here's the car. It's right outside. Like, oh, okay. So
No book.
no book, no list, like nothing. So, we're like figuring it out on the fly as I'm driving. We're like, what the fuck does that sign mean?
Oh my God.
Some of them we still don't know. Some of them looks like a kind of a pie symbol, but it has a road in between it. And I don't know what that means. Those are all over. They're blue and white. I don't know. I don't know what that one means. Maybe the Grief Burrito guys can tweet it at us or something. I didn't catch that one. But the national speed limit, like I said, depends on the size of the road you're on. But I kept getting confused because there's like 3 different tiers. So the highway is fine.
pay?
Like I'm on the highway. No.
For different tiers to drive.
You're on the premium tier. You can do 70. But if you...
You don't pay that premium, you can't go any faster than 50.
It's highway plus. No, so like it's the size of the road, but I couldn't remember like, okay, what's the size of the road that I'm on? And I don't know, because it can be 50, it can be 60, it can be 70. And sometimes even on the roads that are 70, people aren't doing 70. And I don't know why.
Slower.
Yeah, they're going slower than the actual speed limit. And it's because there's fucking cameras everywhere. There's the whole country is covered in CCTV cameras.
Yeah.
And they'll ding you. Like what we read online, they were saying like, yeah, they'll just ticket you and they'll send it to you and like that's it. Doesn't need to be a cop. There's nobody involved. Like
That happens in Chicago.
sure, but it doesn't happen in Indiana.
No.
Very rarely. Like we don't have any sort of. I mean, the U.S. as a whole doesn't. It's too big. You cannot. The country's too fucking big. Like
when I went to California and San Francisco, they had signs saying by radar, but not only by radar, by airplane, like plane radar. Yeah.
Like a UAV.
Like
and
a
you're
UAV.
like, what the fuck?
Like, what is that?
Yeah, shoot it down.
They had multiple signs down the road, just a giant plane, and then it's like by something radar, and by plane radar,
Wow.
and I was
That's
like,
insane.
well, how did they? What? So anytime I would go fast, I'd be looking up.
Yeah.
Am I in the clear? Am I good?
The parking is also that way.
Spotted.
Counter UAV.
Yeah. You're like activating the button on your dash. Did I pass enough people to earn it yet?
Or hit enough people.
Trading paint. It's burnout.
Activision pops up. You did not subscribe.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Battle Pass.
The driving pass.
Yeah, the driving pass,
pass.
exactly. I heard in China they actually just deduct it right out of their account.
That's crazy. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So like because they have like a social like credit score over there and stuff, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you do it too many times, then you just like, all right, you can't use your card for anything this week.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that social credit score is fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, the driving was, I mean, it probably took me like 5 days to get used to it.
And you were there for 7?
9.
Oh, okay.
But
You said something about the parking.
okay, yeah. So the parking, you have to pay for parking everywhere. I think we found one free parking spot in Bath, and I'm pretty sure it was free because I didn't see a meter or a place to pay. But it wasn't like, hey, free parking. So I'm not really sure. You might have needed a pass. We didn't get a ticket.
Maybe they just do what Malcolm was saying, where they just get a recording of your license plate, deduct it straight from your
Well,
account.
I mean, Hertz is going to let me know. I'm sure. I'm sure if I get if they get a parking ticket, it's going to be on me. They're going to come after me for that shit.
Yeah.
And I don't think like we pulled up to what is the equivalent of like a national park, but it was just like a park in a city where you need to pay for parking. And it's like 9:30. I'm like, the fucking cameras can't see it's pitch black.
They got
Can't see the license plate. We don't need to pay.
They got night vision
And
cameras.
she's
out there,
like,
too.
no, let's just pay. Like, okay, there's another $3 gone. So yeah, we paid for parking everywhere.
Did you exchange your currency?
Didn't have to do any of that. So I called
okay.
my credit card company because my bank card would have worked, but we weren't sure as far as like, if somebody hacked our card. Credit cards are a little bit leaner about that kind of thing as far as getting your money back goes.
Yep.
And I didn't want my bank to be drained of money.
Yeah.
So I'd rather like fight it with the credit card company than fight it with my bank.
Yes.
So we mostly used one of our credit cards, and they were like, no, as long as they take Visa, it'll work everywhere. You don't need to do any sort of translation. And her boss had told her that we'll get upcharged for them having to do the conversion. And I was like, the credit card company said it just happens. Like, I don't think we'll get charged for it because we just pay. Like, we don't have to do any sort of conversion. It's just, I put the money down and then it goes. Yeah. And that's pretty much what it was. But because of inflation and, our kind of standing, in the global economy, as far as like Americans, the U.S. goes, the dollar is not worth what it used to be.
Yes.
For a lot of time, it was worth more than the British pound, and then it was even, and now it's worth about 25% less. So not only was the trip expensive to get over there, and things in London are already expensive, but it's like 25% more expensive for a burger at Five Guys than it should have been. But yeah, fantastic time. Regardless of all that, we had a lot of fun. We went to a comedy club one night.
Oh.
It was like a comedy virgins club. And this is the last story I'll tell because I don't want to really dive into it here. If you want to hear more about that, send us some tweets and we'll have like a longer extended session about my time in London. But
230 characters.
yeah, at this, no, we'll do a podcast about it.
Oh, okay. I thought you
want to hear about it
on Twitter. I was like,
if you, the listener, want to hear about it, let us know.
I thought you meant on Twitter.
No,
like, really.
230 characters at a time. It's quite the story. Yeah, I think you can pay to type more, but I'm not going to do that.
Longer. Yeah.
So we went to this comedy club, and we got like, it was a Groupon, so it was very cheap already to do this thing, and it was comedy virgin. So these people had not done stand up. They're not like professionals or anything. They're just people.
Okay, I understand now. Okay, they just don't. Okay, I understand. I thought they were just actual virgins.
Oh, well, it wasn't that kind of club. At least not at the time we were there. Yeah, maybe it got a little hairy after 9, but at 7 it was fine.
After dark.
Yeah. So the person that was introducing the comedians, she was like the host, I should say, and she was calling out people in the crowd. There's only like 15 people in there, right? So it's not that many people that she could even like
Did you go up
single
there?
out. No, I did not. I did not go up to do. People in the crowd were, they did go on stage. You had to sign up for it beforehand, and I wouldn't have done it anyways. I don't have like a bit prepared or anything. And she made everybody aware that we were Americans.
Singled you out.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh.
Yep. So
Did they go boo?
no, we did not. We did not get booed. I did get made fun of for how many guns I probably own. That was straight up like the first joke.
If they only knew.
Yeah, my mom's at home watching them, taking good care of them. Don't you worry. Yeah, she's polishing them.
Yeah, cleaning the barrel.
Yeah, making sure they don't get rusty while we're gone. So yeah, that was a good joke. And the whole front row was people that were in IT. I don't know, just happened. They weren't there together. They just all happened to like be IT people. And then she asked Rachel what she did. And Rachel was like, well, I'm a CFO. And the lady was like, oh. And one of the guys in the IT section like turned around and looked at her. She was like, IT's impressed. So one of the guys gets up on stage and he's doing his little bit. And he goes, have you guys noticed these American candy shops that have been popping up all around town? And like, the crowd's like, yeah. Some of these candy shops. And he's like, yeah, what is with these places? And he's like, I think we all know what they're really here for. So, okay, gets like a murmur, another murmur from the crowd. Yeah, these candy shops. And he goes, money laundering. And everybody's like, yeah. And I'm like, what? and then he singles aside. He goes, you Americans, you might not know, but here in London, we have candy shops laundering money. You can go there and you can get your kicks. They're not just serving candy. So, and he'd like listen off all these like silly drug names and stuff. And that was kind of funny. And I don't remember them offhand, but like Rachel and I, only Americans in the crowd, like, what the fuck are they talking about? And we didn't look it up. I don't know. But for the crowd to not be that big, and then for at least half of them to be like, yeah, American candy shop, money laundering. I don't know. I don't know if it's mafia related, if Hershey's got a deal, like.
Not only that, but the American dollar is worth less there.
Right.
So it's like,
I don't
know that I'd be laundering it there.
I don't know. That was bizarre.
Whoa. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun time.
It was cool. The whole trip was fantastic. I would recommend it to anybody. Save up the means. Really, really cool.
What last thing was it really cloudy over there all the time?
No, it was fantastic fucking weather. So while you guys were getting rain, overcast, sleet some days, my mom said, when we got there on Tuesday, it was 69 and sunny. We didn't see rain or temperatures lower than 69 until the Wednesday before we left, and it was a little foggy. And then Thursday, it was straight up like raining while we were going to see Stonehenge. And
that was perfect.
It was perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Awesome.
Stonehenge in the rain. It's got like fog all over the countryside. It's way the fuck out of the way. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Really cool time.
Cool.
So we came here today to talk about Starfield. You guys ready to hop on into it?
We are post Starfield release.
Post Starfield release. So I was thinking about this. You brought that up in the group chat. And I think Starfield is probably the game that's had the most hype for it since Cyberpunk. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure.
And by your assessments, we all lived through the Cyberpunk debacle.
Yeah.
Starfield is a better game? Question mark? Or a more successful thing at the thing they were trying to do is maybe a better way to phrase it.
I would say it had a better launch than Cyberpunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say
In that
so.
it's not as broken as Cyberpunk was.
Not as broken. I mean, I have found broken stuff, but when I first played Cyberpunk, it was terrible.
It was bad.
It was bad.
It was really
Starfield is the most polished Bethesda game we've ever gotten.
I think I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Like they said,
is
this
there
is
bugs?
the least amount of bugs.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the most polished game that Bethesda has put out,
Yep.
I would say.
I would agree with that.
I will say I haven't really hit many quest bugs.
No, me neither.
I have.
World bugs has not been ideal, I don't think, for me. Particularly when it pertains to the settlement segments. Have you guys messed with that at all?
No. No.
Okay, so I might play these games a little bit different than the general crowd in that I want to poke at the edges of the world and I want to see.
Ryan is the guy that when you see him start the game, he just goes it. So like the game wants you to go straight ahead.
Yeah, the corridor goes straight, right?
It's like it's just go over here, and Ryan's like, but there's a ball. There's a ball over there, and I want it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably some wall where I can't get over. I'm gonna try and get through and or around that wall.
Just a piece of candy.
Yes.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
It is almost that, but like if they tell me to go north, I'm going south. Like whatever it is, wherever they want me to go, I am going in the opposite direction. Like I want to find the most hidden, out of the way stuff. Now, unfortunately, what I ran into with this game is it is a very big game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I'm poking at the edges, there are not edges to poke. So the most frustrating segment that I have, I don't know. Do I want to start with the bad stuff? Do you want to start with the good stuff instead?
No, we can start with the bad.
Okay, let's start with the bad stuff.
Good.
I think there's less bad than there is good.
Maybe not.
I have a longer list of bad than things I came up in my pros list. Like double.
I would say it's a pretty decent game. Let's start with the bad and
Okay.
end with good. We're not. Are you mad at the game?
Yeah.
You are mad.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at
I'm not mad at the
Really?
game. Uh-uh.
Not even a little.
I mean, a little frustrated at some points, but overall, I mean, I'm gonna play this game forever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. So
You just get started.
when
there.
I got the game, so I paid the $35 to do the premium edition upgrade. I want to play it 4 days early or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
So whatever. I didn't buy the game. I just got Game Pass. I'll play it that way. So it lets you out into the world very quickly.
Yes.
And and they give you a ship and they're pretty much just like, okay, do it.
Yep. Yeah.
And there are probably tutorial segments that I still
Oh my god.
haven't seen.
Yeah.
He didn't do any of it.
So that's your own.
Okay. Tell me I'm playing it wrong. If you're gonna fucking let me go, I'm gonna go, god damn it. Like I'm not if you're not gonna lead me down the beaten fucking path, I'm not gonna go down that path.
How far did you? How many?
Dude, I played 40 hours before I ever did a single mission
Oh my
at all.
gosh. You missed out on so much. I'm telling you what to do.
I just did the ship steering tutorial. I have 5 ships in my arsenal. I'm 100 hours in.
I was wondering the same thing because I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to know how to do this? And then I continued the main quest and I'm like, oh, they pretty much tell you how.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't seen that yet.
I guess I've already learned this, but
So if they're gonna let me go, I'm gonna do that. So
yeah.
I have like 3 or 4 settlements that I've tried to build,
Oh my god.
and
only built
I've
one.
colonized another planet. And
colonized?
I have probably 5 settlements on one planet, and like I cannot figure out because I only have 3 that I'm using. So I put down 2 that I don't know how to pull up. I have not found a way to like not settle the places where I put down my outpost markers is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
So I put down my outpost markers in places where I was like, well, maybe this would work, but then I found a better place to put down my outpost marker. So I didn't build an outpost on, that marker. And you only get 8. So
you only get 8.
You only you gotta.
I don't think you're supposed to put it all on one planet though.
Well, I didn't put them all, so I settled a system. So what happened was I read online that you should get the Mantis ship as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So
thank you for that, by the way.
So yeah, and I think I said it in the group chat. So I went and got the Mantis ship, and I was like, okay, I haven't really settled anywhere yet. I've got a fuckload of stuff. I've got way more stuff than I can do anything with. And I also read on IGN that you can store all that stuff at Constellation. So there's a little box. There's an unlimited storage box at the Constellation headquarters in the basement.
I'm surprised you know where that is.
So I did not want to stay there because those guys are pussies. Okay, so I'm not staying. I didn't want to hang out there. So that was like at my first 30 hours of gameplay, that's where I was funneling all my shit.
Yeah.
All my resources and stuff like that. Yeah. And I knew that I would need these resources for building. I didn't know which ones I was going to need or how much I was going to need. But God damn it, all these resources that I'm running around this planet mining one at a time, I am going to store them. I know it's really inefficient. No. So I spent a good amount of time just like, how far can I How far can I poke at this, right? Like, how far can I run in any single direction away from my ship before the game's like, you should turn around.
Yeah.
And as I'm doing that, I'm like coming across things, settlements, and like abandoned mines and abandoned whatever. So I'm like doing little raids as I'm exploring. Well, now I've got too much shit.
Yep, you're full.
And I thought like, well, I'm not giving up my stuff, but I still want to see how far I can poke at this. So I'm looking at the map. So you can go to you can zoom out, you can do the planet view, right? Like kind of Mass Effect style.
Yeah.
And you can see where the things are that you might want to mine.
Yeah.
And as far as I have read online, that's randomly generated for each planet for each person. So your map for a X planet is not, and I think we talked about it maybe on the last episode.
Yep.
And I ran 3,000 meters away from my ship, and I'm dying, right? I'm dead, basically. I'm at a quarter of a life, and because I'm running over encumbered, I'm losing oxygen,
gaining carbon dioxide.
Yeah, and I'm gaining carbon, and so I'm just like, how far can I go? So when I'm looking at the map, I landed in between two resources, and I did it on purpose because I wanted to find a place on that planet where I could mine both of those resources at one time.
Okay.
So if I'm looking at the map and I'm looking at north, south, east, west, my orientation of my ship, if I run east far enough, so I'm kind of on the westernly side of where I intended to land.
Yeah, okay.
If I run east far enough, I should run into that resource eventually.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, that's not how it works.
I mean,
so the planet, and this is my assessment of how the game seems to work. So when you land your starship, because you can pick any spot basically on any planet where you can land.
Yeah.
And you land your starship, it generates an area of about 1,000 meters around your ship in all directions. Maybe 500, like maybe it's 1,000 across. Like there are things to do within a small segment of an area of where you land your ship.
Yep.
If you move your ship and you try to go to the edge of where you landed previously and find those things,
they're not there anymore.
They're not. No. And I don't know if it's because like it's a motherfucking planet.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Like I'm on like what's the scale view of me looking at the planet on the map, right? Like, because the sliverest, smallest of an inch movement could be 100 miles.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it depends on the size of the planet as to what the scale of that thing is. So that's just kind of a workaround for Bethesda. That's an excuse for Bethesda to auto-generate this stuff every single time you land.
Yeah.
So it, as far as I can tell, it is not a continuous planet. If you landed on Mars and you went to the abandoned mech factory and you tried to run to whatever the settlement's called on Mars, something with a C, I think. If you tried to run there, in my personal opinion, I don't think you could.
No, you can't.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
that's not what I want.
It's the same thing with Atlantis. Is that's the main place?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have people that land outside of there, and you can see Atlantis in the distance.
Yeah.
But you can't go there. You can't land outside of it. You cannot go in there.
I am so frustrated by that because, like, and it took me poking at these edges to ascertain this, and I guess I could have just watched a video online.
That's how I figured it out.
I wanted to poke at it, right? Like, I wanted to, can I do this? Can I do this? And so I spent 45 of the most frustrating minutes of gameplay I've ever had running 3,000 meters east to see if I could find the resource. I'm like, I'm going to keep going. God damn it. I'm going to keep going. Right? And I'm holding like, I don't know, like $1,000 worth of loot. Like, cause you sell it for a tenth of what it's actually worth, right?
Yeah.
It's bullshit. I should have just dropped it. I should have just fast traveled, but I am so stubborn. I'm like, fuck you, game. Fuck you. I'm going to keep this stuff. I'm going back to I'm breaking it. Should have just gave up. I should have just gave up. And I was so upset at this. And Rachel, she's like, "Are you okay?" Because when I played this game, and I got it for the weekend when it first came out. I swear to God, I played it. Okay, there's 72 hours in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I probably played 50 of those 72 hours. Dude, I'm telling you, I played it till 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
Jeez.
I woke up at 9 and I started it again.
Oh, God.
Like,
it's like summer break.
Dude, for real. For real.
In high school, you're like, I could just wake up, play this video game right when I wake up. Heck yeah.
And I put so much time into it. And I didn't, and like I said, I didn't do one single quest. It's just like, I want to figure out how the world works.
Gosh.
And so I found the planets where I wanted to establish my base, and it was on the Mantis planet because there are a lot of resources on those moons in that system. And I looked it up, and that wasn't one of the ideals to place it, but I was like, whatever, I'm here.
Yeah.
I want to be close to this Mantis base.
That base is pretty cool too.
Yeah. So what I've done now is I moved all my stuff to the Mantis base because like I want to RP as the Mantis. If I got the suit, I got the ship. I'm gonna do it. Right?
What do you think of the suit, guys?
It's stupid.
Okay,
I think it looks really stupid.
It's stupid. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, continue.
Could be way cooler. It's dumb.
like I am the superhero of this world, and I'm just like.
It looks like I'm a high priest in like some sort of.
And the best part is it's not even that good.
No,
Not good at all.
No, it's not that good at all.
The ship's good.
Yeah,
Ship's good. Yeah.
So
I revamped mine and painted it different. It's called the Razor Leaf, and it's like yellow.
Yeah,
I made it all green.
Fall Razor Leaf.
I greened it out. Like everything on my Razor Leaf is green, and it's like I added a whole bunch of stuff to the middle and made it really long.
Nice.
It's not aerodynamic at all.
You don't have to be in space.
Yeah.
So I wanted to establish this at the Mantis base. Once I figured out that when you are base building, you can only store a certain amount of stuff in the containers that they give you.
Yeah.
And if you want to upgrade those containers, you need to put points into your base building. And I was so frustrated by that. And I watched a tutorial. I made the base. I connected the bases together. I got jump pads or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah.
And I've got them flowing. I wanted to have them flowing in one direction to my main base. That ain't happening. So like that shit, the base building, utterly broken for me. And I'm sure at some point I did it wrong, right? Like I didn't follow the tutorial. I mean, the game's tutorial. I did look up a tutorial. So I looked up how to do it and I followed it as best I could. And it just doesn't fucking work. I don't know. Like, and the game doesn't tell you it's not working.
Yeah.
And once you connect a base to another base, you can no longer see the connection to that base in the terminal where you would expect to see that information. So it just goes away. If it's not connected, it will show that it's not connected. If it is connected, it won't show anything. And that's very frustrating because I don't know what it's connected to or how to unconnect it to get it to work correctly. I had 3 that were working correctly. I added a 4th. Now it's broken. Now none of the 3 do anything that I want them to do. And I've spent all this time, all this resources into building these 3 bases in this system, or I guess like 4 now. And it just doesn't work. Like I fucking manually fly to each base, harvest this shit, and take it over to where, and like it's still producing stuff, and it'll go till it doesn't. It won't unlimitedly stop. Like it won't do it nonstop. It will eventually stop.
Yeah.
But you do get a lot of resources when you let it build up.
Yes.
But like still flying.
Nope.
Flying. Now I've got all this stuff. Now I'm over encumbered, right? Like I can't run this amount of shit over to my ship. I can't fast travel to my ship. I've got to get out of the fucking ship to harvest the stuff. My fucking ship won't land where I need to in my zones. I made a ship spot and I still land the fuck over there. So now I got to run all the way over, get the things, be over encumbered, run back to my ship, take the stuff, take it to my base, and now there's unlimited storage at the Mantis base, right? Okay, fucking Mantis base is cool. I'm gonna RP as the Mantis, take all my stuff, find a spot where I'm like, okay, there's like 17 containers lined up in the bedroom area, deep in the base. Yeah. I'm gonna put all my stuff in here, got it all sorted out, right? Got resources here, armor here, guns I want to keep here. Like, I got the setup. So I come back to the Mantis base. It's full of people. I'm like,
oh no.
Okay. Like, I didn't lock the door when I left. I hope it's still there. So I kill all the people. Okay, cool. My stuff's all still here. No big deal, right? I'm going to continue playing, RPing as the Mantis, bringing everything back to the Mantis base. And I'm doing like quests. I'm not just playing, I'm not just base harvesting over and over again. I'm just kind of like, okay, I got a lot of shit. I got a couple of guns I want to keep. I got some resources I bought. I'm going to take them to the Mantis base. And before I do that, I'm going to stop at my other outpost and collect the shit and then take it to the Mantis base. Still annoying, but not like, it's not the worst thing I've ever done in a game. It's up there, probably. Does it sound like it's up there?
The way you're playing this game doesn't even sound fun.
I don't think this is how Todd Howard intended you to play the game, to be honest with you.
So
this is like Ryan trying to, I want all of my Rock Band songs and all of my games on one hard drive, but it doesn't fit. So I'm going to hook 4 hard drives up to this one Xbox, and it should work, right? I mean, in theory.
They wouldn't let you do it if you're not supposed to do it. If they wanted me to play the game differently, they wouldn't let me play it this way. Okay, so I sent you guys this message, and I'll wrap this part up. So I go back to the Mantis base. I've done my little rounds, right? I'm full of shit. I'm over encumbered. Like I said, now the outside of the base has people at it. So I'm like, oh, fuck, there's like more people now, right? They called their buddies. So I kill all the people. I go down and I go to my section where I kept my stuff. It has reset those fucking containers.
Oh no.
They're locked. They're locked again. They've got this, like, it's different loot, right? Because the containers are automatically, just like in Fallout, they auto generate when you go to open them. All my shit's gone.
Oof.
So I played 60 hours, whatever, of this game, and I sent you guys the message. I said, all my shit's gone.
Yep.
What the fuck has happened to this motherfucking game?
Do you know what a bunch of people are doing with their stuff so they don't lose it?
Yeah,
They just drop it there is a room on their ship where they just drop everything on the floor.
I thought about that, and I've seen pictures of that, and I thought, that's going to break. So I know, you know what, you want to know how I know that's going to break? Because Malcolm and I broke fucking Oblivion multiple times doing the item duplication glitch. So in Oblivion, there was an item duplication glitch, and it would duplicate the number of things that you had.
The number of scrolls.
For the number of scrolls.
Yeah.
It was scrolls or arrows, or was it scrolls?
It was definitely
so.
Yeah.
If you had 1,000 of these scrolls, and you could duplicate the scrolls too.
And it didn't matter what scroll it was.
Right.
It was just any.
So
scroll.
you could get a scroll that had, and you could duplicate that scroll. You get 1,000 of that scroll, and then you could duplicate any item, and it would put 1,000 of them in front of you instantaneously after you'd it's like a menu hack basically.
Yep.
If you did this button combination in the menus, it would be like you'd drop the item and it would duplicate the item for the number of scrolls that you had on this section for whatever reason. So there's weird inventory glitch in Oblivion. So Malcolm and I spent the better part of a weekend just fucking Oblivion up. And we did it. I think we had 25,000 of an item that we were like, how broken can we make this? And it would take a while. It would bog the 360 down, and it might take 20 minutes for all that stuff to physically render in the physics engine. And you're when you what it looked like on screen, your character would be dropping that item. So you'd see like a soul shard or soul gem in front of you, and it would just be one soul gem floating in the air and soul gems falling out.
Yep. We did that to sigil stones.
Yep, sigil stones, anything valuable.
Yeah,
we broke
stones.
that fucking game.
And it's when we did multiple items at once that it basically froze the game. We we shut it down. We logged back in, went into that house in Bruma. And instead of there being a bunch of items that's what we were expecting is to walk in.
Just this room to be up to the ears, right? You've seen the pictures of potatoes filled up in ships and shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought they item duplication that.
Yep. Instead, it created a cloth sack in the middle of the room with all those items in it.
just literally a loot bag. It broke the game so hard.
And it was a random spot in the room.
Yep.
And that
it wasn't there before.
Was not there before because we reloaded it and it wasn't there before, and it just stuffed everything into one.
Is this something they intended?
I have no idea.
That's crazy.
We have no idea why it created the loot sack, and it did it multiple times. It wasn't like that was the only loot sack. Yeah. Crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's something on the developers when they're testing the physics engine.
Probably.
Maybe they use that and if you ran it on a better PC, it would render it better than the fucking 360, right? It wouldn't have broke the game that hard if you had a PC you were running it on. So, long story short, that's what's going to happen to those fucking ships. They're going to end up with, that shit is going to go missing. I know it is. There's no way the game is just going to keep track of thousands of fucking items on this mobile platform.
But it's not mobile.
It's not mobile.
It doesn't. It is.
Sure.
The ship is the ship.
Yeah.
That's
you don't
true.
ever actually fly anywhere in
exactly.
the ship.
Yeah.
I think the space is moving around you. The ship is actually the world. This is my theory of Starfield.
Okay.
The ship is like the sun.
Okay.
And everything flows around the ship.
You can't even fly towards planets. Have you tried flying
didn't the modders fix that?
Oh, the modders have.
modders?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But I mean,
In the
still,
game.
In the game.
If you fly too close, it turns into a PNG image.
Because they've done that with Atlantis, where they actually got rid of that wall, the invisible wall, to get into Atlantis if you land outside of it.
Okay.
And majority of the time it breaks your game because it loads in everything at one time in that area.
When you enter it.
When you enter
that area, it's like load.
Yeah, load, and then it just crashes because it's just there's so much stuff that it just boom.
So instead of having the loading screen.
You guys don't think that's going to happen on these ships?
I haven't heard that happening. I've seen.
There's no fucking way. If it breaks the game when it loads these cities in, I mean, they're trying to intentionally break it.
That's the thing, though. When you're on your ship, That ship is not in a space. So the ship is its own. So your ship is so confined compared to everything else.
Compared to a city.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all it has to render is your ship. And your ship is the same, right? And then all that stuff just stays there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's like
I guess I can see it not breaking when you put it that way.
You thought of it too hard, Ryan. You you thought you could beat the system, but it beat you.
I mean, it definitely beat me. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so I did end up getting all my stuff back.
Oh, really?
To end that story. So I reloaded, I went back, and I found some old saves.
Oh,
and I was like, okay, and I'm not where I need to be in those saves, right? Like, so I need to stop what the fuck I'm doing in any of those saves, get on my ship, travel over to the fucking Mantis base, see if my shit's still there, load the next one. Because I started like, I don't know how far back I need to go.
Like, kills everybody, gets down to the bottom. Shit. Try another.
Right. Like, I don't know. Do I need to go 10 hours? I don't know. It's been a while since I've been there.
Yeah.
So every time I loaded it, my stuff ended up being there. I went like 5 or 6 saves back, and every time I loaded it, so I'm not sure if it was just random that I landed there and it happened to be that people had taken over the base and it reset it. But I took all my shit. I said, I'm not doing this again. Fuck the Mantis base. I'm not the Mantis anymore. I'm not wearing this fucking armor. I'm changing ships. I'm putting everything over in the Constellation base. I'm so sorry. You guys aren't pussies. I like you. I just want to be an explorer now.
I am a peaceful explorer.
All that stuff I said about you guys.
Yeah, I take it back.
I take it back.
Okay. So that was my biggest rant. I've had a really difficult time with a significant portion of that game.
I think that's your fault.
Yeah, I think it's your fault.
So now, I guess, have you guys had any problems with the inventory management is fucked, right?
It's terrible.
Like, it's awful.
like
it's so fucking
I just
awful.
ignore it.
Yeah.
But how do you loot all the guns?
I don't.
Dude,
I find the 8 that I like.
I want
and
to
I don't
sell
need
them.
anymore.
I have 600,000 credits.
What do you do?
I have. What do you
I'm
do?
going to buy a ship. Once I find the one I want to buy.
I have looked at every ship seller at every place that I've
all
stopped.
dookie.
They're all stupid.
Yeah, and it costs so much.
Yeah, just build a ship and
Just
be
build
done
your own
with it.
You don't
ship.
think I'll find a good one?
No.
I mean, you could probably steal a good one.
Yeah, you're more likely to steal a ship than buy
Well, I'll
it.
need money to build a ship too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 600,000 credits, like, because you guys, that's a lot.
600 million.
Oh,
right?
$1,000?
Are you million?
No way.
No, it's
Thousand.
No way.
1,000.
Okay, 1,000.
Okay.
It's like
So he's not Jeff
640,000. I may be up near 700 now. I'm not.
Like,
at
the most I've had is 30 grand.
30.
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
That's because you don't loot
I
anything.
spend it all. As soon as I get it, I
I
spend
mean,
it.
I'm buying not every time I go, but I like buying resources and stuff like
I
that.
don't
Little
buy
bit,
any
little
resources.
bit.
The only thing I buy is guns or guns or suits. And
I
that's it.
haven't had to buy any ammo
No.
for the entire game.
No ammo, no.
No ammo. I really haven't bought that many guns.
The only guns I've bought are the ones that are named something specific.
Yes.
Other
that makes
than
sense.
that, I don't buy them.
Yeah.
But that's the only guns I keep too.
Yeah.
If it's got a special name, then I'll keep it. Anything else, just sell it.
Right.
No, I only loot the guns that cost a lot. You know, I mean, if it's like 5,000 credits for
Right.
this gun, I'm not
Well,
picking that up. I'm not picking that up. Because I can sell it for like 200.
For the I would say maybe the last 15 or so hours, I've been trying to put like a cap and looking at the weight to sales amount distribution.
Oh boy.
A spreadsheet.
So-
He's probably got a he makes spreadsheets all the time.
I have a spreadsheet for this. I'm just like, okay, if it's not worth at least $1,000 a pound, it's not worth having to go sell.
That makes sense.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
But then, right, I start getting towards the limit, and I'm like, I gotta just pick up all these other guns though. And so then I end up just going over the limit that I set for myself. And the limit, I don't know if you know this, but it is it's a ratio. So the more stuff you carry, the faster you die while you're carrying it. So if you're carrying 10,000 pounds worth of gear, you die very quickly.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Transport all my stuff around from place to place.
You're going to crawl
10,000 pounds worth of gear.
under the ship. That's where all your hours went into.
Hey, it was
Dude, I know. No, you can still
almost
sprint.
dead. Step. Okay,
Wait.
wait.
No.
Step.
No, I'm just running while I'm dead. So, like, you cannot die. It won't kill you. You
Really?
Oh, what?
No, it won't kill you. So you go down to 25-ish%, maybe 15, and then just hope you don't see a fucking animal.
Okay. Okay.
Just avoid any combat, and you're pretty much good.
I didn't know that.
So you can.
I was like, oh, I don't want to die.
No,
I
it
haven't
won't
seen
kill
my
you.
CO2 go past.
yeah,
half.
you have no oxygen.
You're gonna die.
You're gonna die.
I mean, so that's my thing with the mechanic. That's why I fucking hate it. If you're not gonna kill me, what the fuck is the point? Like, all I'm doing, I'm just getting a headache because the game's like,
Oh yeah.
because like I just see my eyes throbbing, right? Like on the screen the whole time. I played the game for 45 minutes like that. I ran for 3,000 meters. Oh, fuck this game.
Tell me you've at least became a pirate by now.
No, I don't know how to do that. So no, I'm not a pirate. I'm just now. I abandoned my mission of being the Mantis. I'm storing everything at Constellation. Right, the game beat me. So now,
Why do I play this game now? It beat me. I'm supposed to beat the game.
so now
He still hasn't played a story mission though.
playing it as probably you guys have been playing it for the better part of however many hours you put in.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm upwards of 40, surprisingly.
So I think I've maybe spent enough time bitching about it. You guys go ahead.
Go ahead, Troy.
So I am not playing it like somebody should as well.
Okay.
I've heard different ways of playing the game, and most people say beeline the story, don't even pay attention to it. It sucks.
Really?
Which kind of sucks. But at the same time, they say beeline the story. New Game Plus is where everything's at anyway.
Yeah.
Really?
That's where the game is.
Yeah.
That's where the game starts.
Boy.
But I was like, I don't want to play with these Constellation people either once I got started. I got a little into it, and then I went off, and it was like, hey, save this guy. And then Ryan texted and was like, hey, you need this ship. And that put me on this whole other thing.
Yeah.
Got the ship. I had to look up how to get through that little puzzle.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I just destroyed. I was like, wanted to I messed it up.
Yeah.
So then I ran back because it started shooting at me, and then I forget who I had with me. I probably what's her name, the main chick.
Yeah. I know I got rid of her right away.
Sarah.
I got rid of Sarah.
She's like
right
dead in the middle of the thing because she didn't run with me. But I like poke my head out, shoot a little bit, go back, shoot a little bit, go back. The turret that's shooting at you
Yeah.
because you failed the puzzle. I was the only way I could get through it. Because I was like,
I
do not
literally went
understand
back
this.
and like flew away from the planet and came back and Googled how to do it. And it's dumb because it's just the word of her. Well,
Yeah, it's a Latin word,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I Googled it
yeah.
too.
the Latin
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
But if you, so the first thing I put skill points into was the security.
Oh,
So if you go a little bit further and I think it's maybe behind a locked gate,
Yeah.
but there's a security
Yeah.
console and you can shut the turrets off.
My
So that's what I did.
It was locked.
my lock
Right.
I couldn't. Yeah, my lock picking wasn't high enough.
I was not about
I
that
was
life.
like,
I'm unlocking every single thing I can.
I've learned that now, and I've raised it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was jumping around trying to find something cool to do. I ended up running into some people that were like, hey, the coolest thing I found with the game, sorry to be so, it's been a minute since I played, but I found that jumping from system to system is where the action happens.
Mm-hmm.
So you jump to that system and they're like, hey, we need help. So you go and they're like, this ship that's old and they've been on this ship for, I think you said you killed them.
Yeah, so you're talking about the Paradiso quest.
Yes.
I'm sure probably most people listening to this are either not playing Starfield or they've got to that segment.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that it's going to be even a spoiler.
Yeah.
No.
But the
Not even a
thing,
main quest.
Yeah. It's a ship that's in orbit and the people on the planet think it's an alien ship. And then you go talk to the people on the planet and they're like, do something about that fucking ship.
Because Paradiso is like supposed to be a paradise. And
Yes.
A vacation.
vacation planet. And so you go up there and there's like that back and forth of being the middleman because their comms don't work with the people on the ground. And then I ended up being like the nice guy. That's why I don't have any money because I bought them the jump gear and everything. So
What a waste.
Go.
You can take a shotgun and waste all those motherfuckers on the ship.
You can.
Which is what I did. And then I stole all their guns. And then I blew the ship up. And then I got the money for doing that. And then I sold all their guns. Dude, raked it in.
I think you can steal their ship too.
That I am not sure that you can.
Really?
Yeah, because even though, and I may have glitched the quest by killing everybody on the ship, because the ship's still there. It didn't explode. I did the exploding ending, which you can do, and it's supposed to like blow up, and you're supposed to see it from the planet, as far as I could tell on what I read online. It didn't do that. There's nobody on it. I've solved the quest. The people on the planet are like, yeah, cool, that ship's gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's not.
It's still there.
There's nobody on it, so it's fine.
I have a $315,000 bounty on my head for killing all the people on that ship. But it's only from that ship.
Yeah.
And all the people are dead. So they haven't sent a bounty hunter after me. And probably won't.
I think you might have missed somebody because I've had it where I ended up getting a bounty on myself, but then I killed everybody that was that saw it, and then it cleared my bounty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't let me kill every single person, and I assumed when the ship exploded
They died.
that they would die, but the ship didn't explode, even though I chose the exploding ending.
Did they tell you to kill everybody on the ship?
No, I took that off. They had a bunch of
Monster! What the heck? What is this?
yeah. Sarah was not happy.
Yeah,
There's like kids running around and shit. You cannot kill the kids.
I think that's why.
Even though I tried.
Even though I tried.
Sure he did.
Yeah, you shoot at them, nothing happens.
I think that's why.
They might have like an old baseball relic, right? Like, give me that card, I'm gonna sell that.
That's all you get from that quest if you help them too is just old Earth things.
Yeah,
Oh no.
which you can steal if you kill everyone.
Or you could just steal it.
Well, yeah, but they get really mad. It's much easier to steal it when they're dead.
They're dead.
So I'm a pirate. I got into the pirate quest because something happened where I had a bounty, and then you get picked up by a guy, and he's like, "Hey, you should help me infiltrate these pirates." I was like, I could pretend to be a pirate, and I got in with the pirates, and that's following that quest line is so fun. And then at the end of that quest, you get to decide which side you're on. Do you want to be a pirate forever? Or do you want to help the guy that's trying to take down the pirates?
Nice.
I chose the wrong side.
Which one's the wrong side?
Yeah, what's wrong to you? Which one's wrong?
I helped the police.
Yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah, like and now I'm paying for it because the last part of that mission is going and destroying all the pirates' defenses, and they're really hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't have a ship that's like the Razor Leaf is nice, but it doesn't have very big shields.
Right.
So I'm on the last one, and I just jumped away.
Well, that's the beauty of the game.
Yeah,
You don't even have to continue that quest.
Yeah.
You could just, all right, I'm done playing with you now, and just go and do something else. You know?
I'm gonna go back to the main quest.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
No, yeah, they'll just sit there and they'll wait.
Yeah.
They'll wait for
That battle is just sitting on that planet waiting for me.
They're like, when is he coming? Where is he at?
I like how everybody is just frozen in time on that, and then there's a big battle scene and they're just all frozen. It's like you pause a Star Wars movie.
Right.
But yeah, so far what I've played, the pirate quest line is the best. But all those little interactions when you jump to a system and someone instantly talks to you or wants to try and talk to you, that's where all the action is.
I thought the hailing was cool.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just a cool mechanic.
Yeah.
Be like, they're maybe trapped here or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels a little Star Trek-y.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Yep.
It's a little touch, but yeah. Did you guys find the quest where there's the sentient AI? Did you guys do that one yet? It may be timed as far as like a playtime thing goes, or maybe tied to your level. I'm at level 27. Do you even?
Maybe 15, 16?
Okay. I think I got it around level 20. So you're
Okay.
probably pretty close.
No, I'm around that level.
Pretty close.
You're at 20, 27 or
Yeah.
something like that, around there.
But it didn't pop up for you?
I mean,
It may be even tied to a specific star system too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
or it's just random and you just travel to some random system and it'll pop up. Because I've had other encounters when I travel to certain systems, but I'm not actively going to random systems. I only go there if there is a quest.
Okay.
And for the majority of the time, each time I've gone to a system, there's been something there that's happened.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, hey, there's like an old lady
that
or
is
something
my
like that.
problem with the game. That's my only problem is I'm trying to follow this mission, right? And this mission says jump to this system. I jumped to that system, and that's how I got to the pirate thing, because I jumped to that system and jumped to the Paradiso thing, and then I jumped again, and it was like, you're under arrest, and I'm like, well, I guess I gotta follow this one now. You can't put somebody with ADD in this position.
Right.
Like, I have to follow one thing at a time, and you take me off. But I'm still having fun with
Yeah,
it.
so you're 4 or 5 new quests deep, and you just wanted to complete the one quest.
Yeah.
I was reading online that it was better if you do, like, obviously the main mission,
Yeah.
but I haven't even started really that.
Yeah.
But somebody said to go to Neon and do the corporate mission as if it were kind of like it's Cyberpunk-esque.
Yeah.
I should say.
Yep.
I think it's Raijun Tower.
Raiju, yeah, something like that.
So I've been doing that quest line most recently, and those were pretty fun. That was a good recommendation, because I think you get something cool at the end of it, but I don't know what it is yet, so I'm not quite through.
Because I went Ronin, so I was like running around with like a UC cutlass sword thing.
Nice.
But
Have you been doing primarily?
Really?
I
melee
try
weapons?
to.
Really?
I try to, yeah. But
Okay.
half the time I can't. I just pull out the shotty and then
It's
it's like an explosive shot. So
Yeah.
every time I shoot like 3 or 4 times, that 4th time it just explodes. It does.
That's awesome.
Massive amount
I
of damage.
have a pistol that does that, and like that's how I took down a bunch of those huge robots that you can't fight.
Oh,
Like,
like-
I can't. They are too powerful. There's no way I
Yeah.
should be able to fight these things.
Yeah.
And it just go boom, boom, boom.
Yes,
It's dead.
yes.
Man, I
But
don't
it's a
have
pistol.
That, I don't have that one yet. That sounds cool.
Well, I found a really strong samurai sword in Neon, and I was just like walking around, and then I found this vent, and I went in this vent, and I went in this like
What?
this base, this like gang base, and I just crawled in there, and I was just looting everything, and I'm like, "Oh, it's a samurai sword! This is
Dude,
exactly what I
I
want."
got that sword. That's actually tied to a quest.
Oh, is it
Not-
really?
Not the sword, but the base is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was just sneaking around in there, and I was just like, ooh, this is cool. Like I'm just going around and I'm
Yeah, I think I
Austin's
know what
playing
samurai sword you're talking about.
Among Us.
going through beds. But yeah, I mean, I haven't done that that corporation one yet. I have it where I have to go there, but I get sidetracked too easily.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to do the main quest. I want to get to New Game Plus.
Yep.
Because you can do it 10 times. New Game Plus.
What?
Yes, 10 times is the max. And each time you get like a good piece of armor or a ship.
Okay.
And then you keep all your stats.
Randomly? Or is it like step 1 is armor, step 2 is
I don't know about that. I haven't done it yet. I can't. I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
I've tried, but I've I go to do the main mission and then I see something happening. Oh, side quest, like Troy was saying, and then something else happens. Oh, another side quest. Oh, another side quest. And I'm like, oh shoot, I'm supposed to be going back and doing this main mission so I get New Game Plus and I can continue on, get better loot and all that stuff and be higher level. But
Yeah, because that's the fastest way to level up, Ryan.
yeah.
Well, so
main mission.
it may not be the fastest way because you can spam your levels by making 1,000 adaptive frames. If you set up a mining facility, you can just, okay, I've got 5,000 copper and 2,000 nickel. I can make 2,000 adaptive frames and you get 2,000 XP for that.
Is that what them YouTubers told you?
I did see it on YouTube. And if your mining system happens to break at any time, that becomes very difficult.
Uh-oh.
So
That guy happened.
I've kind of abandoned that.
guy.
I did it a couple of times. I gained like maybe 2 levels. But I maybe don't recommend taking that direction. You don't need to play it like I did. You could just learn vicariously through me
Yeah.
how not to play this game. I did find very early in the game armor that does camouflage. Chameleon, I believe it is. So I have a helmet and a pack, and I recently got a suit. So now I'm like triple camouflage. I looked it up. It does layer. So if you like, it works with just the 2 because I did it for a long time with just the 2. And with the pack and the helmet, when you like zoom out of your body, that you could just, it's like a floating pack. Like if you do third person, it's a floating pack, but your body is camouflaged. So you can literally loot anything because nobody can see you do it. And as long as you don't move, like physically move forward, you can spin around as much as you want to. You can hack any terminal, you can hack any lock, and nobody ever says anything. So I have stolen so much money from every bank, like every single bank thing. I've taken all the display weapons out of every single store I've seen. Go sell them.
So
You sell it back to them.
If they take stolen weaponry, then yeah, absolutely.
A more fun way to do that I've seen now, which is from Skyrim, is you take a bucket and you put it on their head.
Oh, yeah.
And they can't see. So you can just steal
That's
whatever you
awesome.
want.
It took me forever to figure out how to pick things up.
Yeah, just hold A.
It doesn't tell you that.
Yeah, I know.
And I couldn't remember it from Skyrim.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I did
You just
eventually.
hold
figure it
A,
out.
you can, if you.
It's not everything though. And
No.
I cannot figure out how the game decides what I can and can't move.
Yeah.
So I've looked for, I saw one guy on YouTube, or maybe it was like a little YouTube short. He was like pushing the guns out of the case and like pushing them to the back room with a stick and then stealing them in the back room. But the camouflage thing makes that so much easier. You don't have to fuck with any of that. Yep. You just go down and go camouflage. So I'm carrying like 2 sets of armor. I'm carrying like a battle set and then a camouflage set.
Yeah.
So it weighs me down a little bit, but it's not so bad. That's the coolest thing I've found, really. I haven't found the exploding shotgun or pistol. That sounds really awesome.
Yeah. The exploding weapons are really cool.
There's also the guns that when you kill somebody, they can drop a med pack too. There's a chance for them to drop med packs too, which I have I have those 2, the explosive one and the med pack. Because when I first started my game, that first base that you go to on that moon or whatever to find whatever with I think Vasco was with you or something like that. But I explored that planet a little bit, and I looted a bunch of stuff, and I found a terramorph.
Yep.
I haven't run into a terramorph.
That first planet, I found a terramorph there, and I used all of my med packs, all of my ammo. Vasco's dead, dying on the ground from this thing.
Right.
And I ended up killing it, which I don't think it was worth it.
Well, yeah, you used all your med
I
packs.
used literally
for
everything.
sure.
That I think.
I use everything all the time. Like, it's fun.
Well, I think I've only had that trouble maybe one other time where I ran out of ammo.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this random base, I think, on Mars, and they just kept on dropping people down, and I tried to get in the ship to steal the ship.
Yep.
But you can't.
You can do that.
I've tried it multiple times, and I cannot do it.
Really?
It says inaccessible.
You gotta kill the guy that's driving it.
I couldn't do it on the story quest. There was a story quest where it dropped people down, and I save scummed, and I like went back and ran like beeline towards that ship and got in it, and it did that time. It did say inaccessible. If you are just landing, if you land on a planet and you see another ship land, you can absolutely go steal that ship.
Yeah.
Because that I've done multiple times, and I've sold it for money, but it's not a good way to make money.
I have there was one time
So many things not to do.
I saw a ship and I was like, I want that ship, and I jumped on there and got all the way up to the top, and I'm kind of trying to be nice, unlike Ryan, clearly.
Give me the ship.
And it was like, I just tried to get in the pilot's seat, and it was like, hey, what are you doing? It's like, oh, sorry.
So I'm sorry.
I'll leave.
I'll see myself out. So then I, just go to the captain's quarters, steal everything out of there, because for some reason the captain is never in his quarters.
Right.
And that locker is always just open.
Sure.
So you just always grab that stuff as you're exiting this ship. I did that on the police ship too. So the police ship, the captain is.
I've not been on a police ship.
The captain is like out there, and he's the one giving the missions. But if you go to his quarters, you can close all the shutters. Just steal all his crap.
Amazing.
Like, I walked around in his suit forever.
Returning to
Awesome.
There are so many silly things you can do in this game that are so fun. Like, you could RP forever in this game. I think you really could.
The back to that ship stealing. I've done it twice where I couldn't get in the ship. I got in the back.
Yeah.
And then to get in the ship, you have to press X to get in.
Yeah.
This is inaccessible.
Yep.
And then I try to kill all the people out there. I kill everybody. And then I'm still in the ship, like inside the drop off pad thing.
Yeah.
And then I get off of it and it immediately shuts and then takes off.
That's because they were already in the process of taking off.
It's bullshit.
I don't think it is. I think it's
Bullshit.
story mission. I don't think you can steal them on story missions.
I've seen them before where they land, and if you see those guys get in that ship and they are already up, and then you like run in as they're getting ready to take off, then it like locks the ship. It seems like
No, I've gone on that ship as it's blasting into outer space, killed everybody, stolen the ship, and had to fly back down to the planet or whatever I was going to do with it. So I've had it be different than that. So I'm not really sure what the cutoff is. I thought it was story missions, but
doesn't really tell you.
Yeah, no.
And I found one of those advanced the alien race that's in this supposedly, the Starborn.
Okay.
There's like a advanced ship.
I don't know anything about this.
It's kind of a cool looking ship, but it's like I went up, I landed in this random place. I was looking for something and I saw it and I tried to go up onto it and get in and it says inaccessible. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That's so stupid.
Every single time I try to get into a ship that's landed, I can't get in it.
That's dumb.
What is this?
Yeah.
That part has pissed me off because I cannot steal a ship to save my life. I only have the Mantis and the very first one you get, and I'm like,
have you tried to board a ship while like you can, because you can like see one flying, and you can hail them and then or just dock with them. If you dock with them And then like you can just run up and steal their ship while you're docked to it sometimes.
In the hailing, there's a dock?
There's a dock.
Okay. I don't think I saw that.
Yeah.
On some of them, yeah.
So you can board ships and take them. So I had a quest for the Freestar Collective to do because some lady got kidnapped and some bandit stole her ship. So I went to go save her. And this is another thing that's happened that's pissed me off because I tried to steal another ship and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I went on the ship, I'm killing everybody, and then I still have 2 enemies that I can't find. I've untied the lady and she won't leave because there's still 2 enemies somewhere on the ship. I think they're above me or below me, and I've looked around the ship and I cannot find them, so I end up leaving, coming back. One of them reappears out of nowhere. I kill that one, but there's still one stuck in the ship somewhere.
Right.
Okay.
And I can't steal the ship, and I can't get her out of there.
Yeah.
So I left, and I have not gone back yet because I'm
what?
that
Fuck
pissed
it.
off. Because
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck? I can't steal no ships.
That
I
is
can't
that
steal
is
no
the,
ships.
the prime example of Bethesda jank.
Yeah.
Where there's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
guy just stuck
Yeah.
in a box somewhere.
And I can hear him.
Yeah.
He sees me.
Yeah.
Because he gets mad. And he's like, what are you doing here? And I'm just like, where are you? I throw grenades and I start shooting everywhere. And I go right above where he's at. Either he's above me or below me. I throw grenades and nothing. I'm just
Nothing.
like, what the hell, man?
Boy, that's
Has anybody
frustrating.
gotten lost in their own ship yet?
Well, so the building of the ship is weird because it doesn't tell you where the portholes are going to.
Yeah.
So I've made some wonky stuff thinking okay, this is a good setup. I go here, have it go here. And I'm like, it goes this way, and I have 2 ladders going into each other somehow, and it goes around this way, back this way to the quarters. And yeah, no.
Have you changed the docking bay in any of your ships yet? So I have reversed mine on my main
Oh, it's
ship.
backwards.
So it's backwards. And every time I fucking land, I gotta run to the other side of the ship. And it's my favorite ship because it's in the back and not in the front where it's like, because I'm assuming the game has ship directionality programmed into it as to which way it's going to land. It does not adjust the way it lands based on your current layout.
Yeah.
I think it's however it was because I moved the docking bay from the front to the back. So now whenever I land my ship, like it still thinks it's in the front. And so I got to run all the way around my ship to the back to get on. It's very annoying. And I could just use a different ship.
You could just rearrange
I have
the
5.
ship.
I could also just do that.
I like how you could just shove
God
up
damn
running
it.
around.
Stupid.
Well, there's also a thing.
It should fix it. It should fix it. Like don't let me. I don't know.
Well, there's also
Fucking game, man.
There's also a thing where if you have your captain quarters and you set up everything wherever you want it, and then you decide to move it,
the captain quarters,
like
in the ship?
like whatever, like if you have armory and you have armor set up, guns and stuff like that, if you move it or delete it, it'll automatically put it in your inventory.
Okay.
So, I mean, you keep your stuff.
That's kind of handy.
Because the thing is, I've had like random things in my inventory that I know I didn't pick up, like tissues.
Random stuff that was on the ship when you got it.
Exactly. And then you move stuff around and you delete it and you put new stuff on. It just throws it all in your inventory. And I'm like, where did I get this shit at?
Yeah.
When did I pick up a Kleenex?
But I mean, other than those, like those things right there, I'm having a good time with it. Cause the missions, I feel like all the missions so far, the side quests and stuff like that.
Side quests are where it's at, though.
Yeah.
Like the story mission, it has not. I want it to grab me, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
From what I hear.
I mean, I thought the constellation stuff, at least at the very beginning, where you
did the first mission.
I know, I like that one.
That's the first.
That one was okay.
The first mission is where you're mining in the cave.
Yeah,
I like this.
Okay.
Cool.
I am the chosen one. This is the one that Ryan likes.
That I thought was, I don't know, the Chosen One stuff is just so overplayed in so many games. I don't know.
Yeah, because if you go further into the game, like through the main quests, you actually get force abilities.
That's part of the main quest.
That's part of the main quest. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that
Like,
briefly
get a
in one of the
lightsaber?
trailers.
No.
No, just
force
like
powers.
force powers, force push.
Yeah, for pull and yeah.
Just so long as my guy doesn't yell while he's doing it.
Why does it go?
I really hated that. I did not use those powers because the shouts are so fucking stupid.
Oh, I loved
loved
it.
them.
I loved it.
hated it.
I would
hate
say
that
it as I
fucking-
did this.
It's so dumb. It's so stupid.
I like how, especially because you could break it just like you could in like Oblivion, where you jump 100 times, you just shout and shout and shout and shout, and it's like your shout's stronger now. Yes, shout. You can do that a little bit in this.
Yeah,
game.
like it's required to do some of
Yeah,
the level up
yeah.
stuff.
I like that they were like, we know this is part of the game, so we're gonna make you do like.
Sure, I would I think prefer like Oblivion's version or Skyrim's
Yeah.
version, where like the leveling up in this game, having not done many of the quests
Yeah.
per se, has been slow.
Yeah.
Like I've played a lot of this game and I feel like I really haven't made a dent. And
You've played a lot of hours of this game. You have not played a lot of this game.
I might respectfully disagree. I have definitely played a lot of hours.
I think you played.
I've pushed more boundaries in this game than you have.
Yes.
So
What's that game on PS5 where you're delivery? Yes.
Death
Guy,
Stranding.
Death
Death
Stranding.
Stranding.
That is what you're playing. That is what you're playing.
So I wanted to talk about a little bit of the reviews with you guys.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of people up in arms on Twitter and on Reddit, on the Starfield subreddit. One of the things that people like have been going back to is like console war stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
Starfield is better than Spider-Man because they could not possibly both be good. Like, and a lot of the reviews that came in for Starfield have it pegged as a 7. Some 9s here and there, some 7s. I didn't see much below 7s, just like
No.
from professional reviews. Malcolm, can you, while we're waiting, look up the Metacritic score right now on Starfield? So what I want to talk to you guys about a little bit was like, what would you review this game at? I mean, obviously you're not through it already,
Yeah.
but I think
What is that called?
Metacritic. And what, like, would you have a score in mind or maybe a letter grade that you would give it?
So so that podcast that I told you about off camera about, they actually talked a little bit about the ending. So I like what they're kind of doing with what they have for the ending, because I try to get to the ending of it and I can't. I get sidetracked.
Still not there.
It pisses me off because I'm just like, I want to get through the game. I'll get New Game Plus because you get all this good stuff. And another thing is they have where the universe or the galaxy changes a little bit. Like Sarah will turn into a plant.
What?
Yeah. Or there is one where you go to Constellation and the old man, he's actually taken over Constellation. He has guards around him and he's killed everybody there. And there's another one where I don't know if he's killed everybody, but he's there and he has guards. And then there's another one where there's another you there and you killed everybody there.
That's probably a little bit spoiler territory.
No, that's the thing, that it's a small percentage chance that those things could happen.
Based on what?
So when you go to New Game Plus, there's a potential chance where it changes the universe or galaxy.
Like you get a multiverse
There's a
rift.
and it kind of ties in with the end of the game. But from
see.
what I told you doesn't have anything to do with the end of the game.
Okay.
That's just something that happens.
Okay.
in the different universes. There's actually videos out there of all this kind of stuff. But anyway, from what I've seen of what I've been told, I'll give it an 8.
Okay. That is a respectable score.
With how little I actually get to engage in games lately, like I'm a dad now and all that, and don't have the time. I found time for Starfield. Like I want to go back and be in this world, and like going through the. I craved going back and being a pirate again
Yeah.
and again and again. Like to me, this game is at least a 9.5. Because I haven't.
I mean, that's high.
Whoa,
I
I
haven't-
good.
I haven't had zero issues, and people have said, when you talk to somebody, sometimes somebody walks. I've not had anything, and I get that I'm looking at it from my personal perspective,
Right.
But that's how we should review games, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
your experience with it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
everything that I've experienced, I would say this is definitely so far my game of the year.
Okay.
And I get that it has its issues, but those issues don't affect me. Like, people are like, well, it doesn't have a map. I don't need a map.
The map thing's fucked. It should have a map.
I have played these games so often and so many times that I don't need a map anymore. Give me a dot.
How the fuck do you get around Atlantis?
Yeah, it's pretty confusing.
Atlantis is
dot.
the worst.
Okay, I haven't spent much time there.
It's bad.
It's
You
bad.
give me a dot, and that's where I need to go. I just follow that dot.
I mean, that makes sense, but the map thing, I personally think that's inexcusable.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I understand.
What the fuck?
I understand
What the
it.
fuck? That's like fucking Ocarina of Time had dungeon maps.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
How did you think that was going to be okay? People would be fine with that.
Yeah.
It's
The
awful.
The other thing that I've heard lots of complaints about that I don't really find, like, I would like it to be in there, and that's the fast travel everywhere. I would like to be able to travel interplanetary or intergalaxy and
not deal with the ship bullshit.
like spend time in the ship as it's traveling.
Oh, I see.
Because you can't
Yes.
do that.
The other way around.
That was the thing that you thought you were going to, I thought I was going to be able to do is, while I'm waiting. So, especially with like the different researches you can do.
Yeah.
So it made sense. Okay. So I'm going to have to learn how to fix my armor. So if I'm traveling, 10,000 light years or whatever it is,
Yeah.
then I should have some time on my ship to
Sure.
do these things and learn while I'm. But other than that, I have no complaint of how they've built this game. Like, I actually like that I can say, I want to jump from here to here, and it does everything in between for me. Like, I don't have to jump and jump and jump and jump. And once you get a
Right.
good ship,
Right.
like if you had the starter ship, yeah, you had to jump to a system and jump to a system. That would
But-
get irritating.
But that's another. I mean, I've read a couple of reviews that brought that up. Like, why even have a fuel mechanic?
Yeah.
If you don't make me get fuel, why does my ship just always have fuel?
It
and it's limited-
automatically gets filled
Right.
every time you land.
Like, what is the point of even doing like the helium-3 mining,
Yeah.
other than as a crafting ingredient?
Yeah.
If I don't need it to fuel my ship,
Yeah.
like the game limits you in weird specific ways and then unlimits you in others.
Yeah.
That doesn't. It's like they don't want to break their canon for A, but they easily break their canon
Yeah.
for B. Like, I don't get how they made those decisions. Like, I'm sure it was some focus group bullshit where they were like, well, how could you? I mean, you got to buy all this ship fuel. Like, what the hell?
I actually was surprised that you don't have to pay your companions.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, like a salad, like
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like a salary. Like
Okay.
I mean,
a lot
you
of them.
pay a lot of them initially when you
Yes,
hire them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have not done that yet. Everyone that I talked them into coming with me.
I have talked down the price, but
talked
I've
down
never
the
gotten
price.
anyone
no.
who's like free.
I guess the only one that I've paid for is the pirate woman that I have with me now, and I talked her price down. But everybody else was, no, I want to come with you.
Okay.
But I only have, I think I have Heller, Miss, I want to say Miss Wong, but I know that's wrong. The lady that calls you Dusty.
I think he's got a different universe.
Right.
I've never heard those names.
So you guys haven't went back to where you started mining at.
Oh, those two.
Yes.
The lady that was in charge of you,
Yes.
and then the
Oh.
guy.
There's one of the guys, and then you're supposed to take that guy and go save the third guy that was with you. and that's where
yeah,
where I went off. I was like,
I
I'm
got
gonna save this guy, and then I got to Paradiso, and it's like, oh, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool if you did have a different universe. though.
That would be. But I mean, that's what's. I think this game if we were talking Fallout 4, we all started the same way, right? And we all had to basically go in the same direction.
Yeah, I mean, Fallout 4's map compared to Starfield is pretty small.
But I mean, like thinking of my story versus your story versus we have all played 3 different games, but it's the same game. If you think,
I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah,
For sure. I have a way different
Yes.
tale than the
simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, shit story over there.
He's mining simulator.
Mining simulator.
Well, I bring up the reviews thing because one of these reviews, and I was looking for it on Metacritic, but I don't see it here. One of the guys, the tagline was, Starfield is a mile wide and an inch deep, was basically the tagline.
Okay.
And what he meant by that, when you read the review, could have been a she. I'm so sorry if I'm misquoting it, but was like, it wants you to think it's a huge game, but it's actually just it's not.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a game. And after reading that review, that was when I was like, let me poke at these edges.
Yeah.
Like how I want to see how big this game actually is.
Yeah.
And then, go back to my earlier rant.
Has the size of the game bummed you out in any way? Like, I feel like it is a big universe, and there is I get that it's not No Man's Sky, and it never will be.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't say that. It might eventually be
yeah,
something more akin to No Man's Sky.
but I still don't think that all those planets will be singular. Like this planet does not exist 10 systems over, because it does. I've been to the same planet in 2 different places in this game.
Okay.
Where I landed on, I went to one system and it was like, okay, this system, the sun is blue and it's just a bunch of moons. That's all that's left.
Right.
And then you go 4 systems to the right and then 3 systems over to the left and then down 2, I found the same thing, but the sun's red.
Right.
So
it's basically the same planet, you're saying.
Yeah. And the planets are the same. They're named something different.
Right.
But it's the same layout. And it's still I still feel like traveling all that way, I feel like I went somewhere and it hasn't let me down in that way like I thought it would. I thought it was like No Man's Sky let me down.
Okay.
When I can't go back to it now because it let me down the way it did. I wanted that game to be what it is now.
Right. But when it launched,
it wasn't. And I don't know that I can, with how big it is now, I don't think I feel like I'm, behind, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah.
But we're starting with Starfield the way it is. I already like it.
It's a completely serviceable game.
Yes.
For sure. And if I had to put a review score on it, I would be lower than both of you guys.
Yeah.
Just based on my experience. And
we could say the same thing about a mile wide and an inch deep of how much you played this game.
Yeah.
And you might be right, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel like don't let me do those things
If you don't want me to.
if you don't want me to. If it's a broken system, like the base building, as far as I can tell, is actively broken. It just does not do the thing that you want it to do.
I literally got to my first one where it was like, hey, you want to build a base? And I was like, nah.
No.
Yeah. and I guess what I was expecting was it to be more like because they fucking figured it out in Fallout 4. That game launched with base building broken.
Yeah.
And then as it was updated and, the DLCs came out, eventually they fucking fixed it. They learned the lessons.
Yeah.
And then they said, yeah, all that shit, throw that out.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
This is
We're
a
gonna
new
start
IP.
over from
This is a
scratch.
new IP.
We're not going to, you know what you You know what people don't care about is accessing their whole inventory from every single base.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want that.
No.
That's fucking stupid. Why would you be able to access it from your ship? Fuck that. You can access your base from your motorcycle in Cyberpunk. Like, those are the kinds of changes that need to be made. Like, for me, and a lot of the reviews complain about this, is like, it's too much of what was before. Like, I'm not saying they didn't innovate, but they innovated along the same lines as Bethesda has always done.
I feel like they were building this game, like they built this game a long time ago when they built everything else, and they're like, this is
we can't run this yet.
This is an idea. We're gonna set it to the side, and then we're gonna come back to it. And then once that happened, they were like, well, we learned this stuff over here, but we want to make this as big as it is supposed to be, but we can't do all those things yet. Like, if you want to do those things, it can't.
This is going to take longer.
It can't be this big.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to do this, then you want to be in that small place. I feel like.
I mean, I'm not a game developer.
Yeah.
I might respectfully disagree because I think some of the things that I'm complaining about, maybe not the planet exploration stuff, but like the things, and that was, I understand. That was me.
Yeah.
That's my fault. It's fine. I am still going to factor it into my review score.
Yes,
but
yes.
that was something nobody else probably experienced that in the same way I experienced it. And the things like the base building, and I don't think the shipbuilding works particularly well.
It does not.
No.
There are things that I hate about the way that interface is on a controller. Maybe it's better on PC. I should be able to fucking Frankenstein 4 ships together. If they're all the same class, I want to blow these things apart, basically. And
I want to take all these
piece here, and build just a monstrosity. And I don't want it to cost me 1 million credits. I already own those pieces. They're just in 6 different ships.
But I feel like that what they do, I don't know for sure. I don't fully understand the shipbuilding, but I believe when you take a piece off, it instantly like sells it. And that goes into your credit score.
You might be right about that.
And like that takes, so if you take this piece off and you want to put this new one on.
Yes. There is not an inventory of parts for ships that you can keep. It does automatically sell it. You are correct.
It, and then you get a new, like, that takes that off the top end price of what you're spending. I don't like that. I want it to be like you're saying, where, well, I own all these pieces of all these ships. Why can't I just?
And I think that's something that'll get hammered out.
Yes.
Like, those are, I mean, I guess you can call it nitpicky, but they're things that have ruined parts of my experience. Like the interface in the menu is awful. The inventory we kind of touched on a little bit, just like transferring inventory from you to your companions to your ship, and then having to be like in range of your ship in order to access your ship's inventory, even if you're on the same planet. Like,
I didn't even know I could send stuff to my ship as long as I was close. I did not know that at all.
Well, it doesn't even tell you whether or not you're in range of your ship to do that. You just gotta get into the menus and check. And there's no, I think I complained about it in the group chat, like, I don't have any way to quickly check how much money I have or how much ammo I have. Like, when I'm buying resources, I have no way of knowing how many resources I have. I can tag them like in Fallout 4. There's no real quick way to check my status as far as leveling up goes. Like, I can't just view that on the main screen. The main screen looks really nice. It looks like everything's laid out. It displays zero fucking information. Like,
it's like, this
so
is over
stupid.
here, this is over here, and this is here.
Or to go to your missions, you have to plan it. And then go hit that button.
Or like scanning a planet is the worst. Like that was solved in Mass Effect. You just do what Mass Effect does. It's fucking fine. Like, I don't want to be like first or third person in my ship, fly up, press X, select the ship, go to my menu, like whatever the fuck the combination is. It's like, as
long as you're, so just to solve that one, as long as you're flying in that around that, or like you're in orbit of that planet, if you go to your star map and just look at that planet, you can hold, I think it's like LB, and it just scans the planet. It says scan.
Right. That's the only way I know how
Yeah,
to scan
yeah.
it. But then to get to the next one, now I've got to get back into that menu,
Yeah.
watch a load screen, travel over there. Like, it's just so many load screens and
Yes.
parts of the menu buried so deep. Like, why can't I just scan it from the view of my ship? I don't understand that.
be a
Why
lot
do I have to
nicer.
go to the fucking menu to scan? It does not make sense. And like having LB committed to scan, I mean, the scanning menu, like
Yeah.
when you're on the
Yeah,
planets and stuff, that has been so annoying. I get into scan mode when I'm battling,
Yeah,
or
or-
when
or
I'm
when
battling
you're-
on my ship and I
Yeah.
get into
Ship,
scan mode.
Yeah.
And like Austyn was watching me play it when I was playing it, and I was streaming it I was
Yeah.
streaming it on Twitch, but you guys were watching me.
Yeah.
And Austyn was like, "Get out of the scan menu, you fucking moron!
You can't lock on
You
because
can't
you're
lock
scared.
on because you're too stupid to play this game." Like, but I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
like really frustrating.
There is
portions
no
of this
clear
game.
thing that says, "Hey, you're in the scan menu."
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't lock on. I guess this battle's going to take 18 minutes.
Yeah.
I hope my bullets hit. Like,
I am terrible at ship battles.
and I'm not great either.
I like it.
I just think there's like
I like it, but I'm terrible at it.
too much stuff weighing down that whether or not they were like, this is the type of game we make, here's this type of game in
Yeah.
space,
Yeah.
or whether they were like, here's how we know how to do these things. So this is the most efficient way for them to build a game.
And then
Like-
let modders do half the work.
And then let modders do half the work, or
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
fix it in the DLC, or we'll
Yeah.
change this in updates. Like,
And I feel like that is their like business model now. Like release it, and this is like we've already,
it's not
already
broken.
said.
This is not a broken game.
This is the
I will say
most
that.
polished one
Yeah.
of those we've gotten, and so that lets those modders. I mean, they already have done the. If you want to travel interplanetary on a PC, you can
Right.
do that.
Yeah.
Good on you. It's gonna take forever, but that if you want to do that, that's on you. And so they've already solved that. That was the first week.
I know.
So
I know.
they give everybody that power, and then they're gonna be like, well, hey, you did that, thank you. We'll just give you some little like
Right, it'll end up in
stupid collectible like way off in the universe.
Well, it could be that, or they're gonna put it in the in Fallout 4. They have I think it's called the Creation Store.
Yeah.
So they've got like paid mods,
Yeah.
that have made it into the actual, like, you can buy people's mods, and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think modders should get paid for their content if they want to be paid for their
Yeah.
content. But I wonder, like, I guess going back quickly to the review thing, I think the people that gave it a 70 have a completely valid experience.
Yeah.
And like, I can see how this game got a 70. People were really up in arms on Twitter from what I saw. A lot of people were like, attacking these people for, oh, well, you didn't play it right. Like, I saw a lot of that. You didn't play it right. Like, fuck you. I'm going to play it how the game lets me fucking play it.
if it lets you do
If
it, do
that's
it.
not fun, then the game should make that fun.
but if it wasn't fun, you did 100 and some hours of not fun. I think you had fun. Am I wrong?
was definitely like, yes and no. Like, there were very much times where if you saw me on the couch, Troy, you would have been like, Ryan is not having fun.
Ryan hates
Ryan
this game
is
right
not
now.
having fun. You do not look like you're enjoying playing this game. But at the same time, I couldn't stop playing it. So
Yes.
I would need to take that into
Yeah.
account.
Yeah.
And then there's a shitload to do. There are a million side quests. Most of that is implemented nicely. I think a lot of it seems to happen more organically than something like Fallout 4. I haven't really ran into Fallout 4's this game's version of Fallout 4's Radiant quests, which are like the repeatable spam quests, fetch quests.
Yeah.
And like those are so boring. I haven't really done that many quests where I've been like, this is boring. I don't like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
When I'm questing, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been the other stuff that I think has dragged down the experience for me.
Yeah.
And if I had to give it a number, I'd probably be in the 70 range, maybe between 72 and 75. I don't think I could probably go higher than that because I want to do the base building. Like that's mining the resources. I want to do that. I want to set up the outposts. Like I want to have the resources to do those things. I want to have like a research station, and like I've put a lot of my my points into like those things, and I've not gotten a lot of return out of it. Like I've been able to upgrade my weapons. Like I want to have cooler attachments for my guns and shit. Like
Yeah.
and that stuff takes a long time. It takes the resources, but I don't have anywhere to fucking put the resources.
Yeah.
Like it just, I don't know. So it's holding me back in certain ways that I don't care for.
That would be the thing that I think I missed from Fallout 4 was like the gun building, where it was so simple.
I mean, that's there.
Yeah,
like that gun building is straight up there.
It is there.
Well,
but it's
modifying. I don't know about building.
Yeah. Where before I knew what I had to look for. I needed metal, I needed glue, and I needed like ammo.
Yeah.
And other than that, you didn't need anything.
I mean, that system is still there.
Yeah.
But there are just more of those things that you need.
Yeah.
And you don't get them from trash. And having a lot of them is very difficult.
Yes.
So there are definite improvements that I think need to be done to this game. I went back, I played some Horizon 2 really recently. I've been playing Cyberpunk since they kind of released like the definitive version of that game. The 2.0 patch came out, the DLC came out, and I had not checked back in with Cyberpunk since we discussed it on the podcast. Like, I just was like, I'm going to set this down until they fucking fix it. And I might be there with Starfield. Like, I might just be like, I'm not playing Starfield again until some patches come out and fix the things that I don't like doing.
Yeah.
I think with what they've been saying about New Game Plus, I would say just go through the New Game Pluses as like just do main quests. That's it. Just main quest. Go through New Game Plus. You'll level up. You'll get more skills. That won't affect. I don't think that'll affect the actual game. You know what I mean?
Right.
That won't affect how if they do update it, it won't affect that. You know what I mean? Like with Cyberpunk, if you play 25 hours in, like you said, and they update it and they do this, they do that, it's going to be a changed game. You won't be able to do, you probably missed some of the stuff that you wanted to do in that 25 hours.
Right.
But if you just go through the main quest and just do that with a Starfield, I think you would probably have a better time if you do go through New Game Plus.
Now, do you think that they're like purposely like making it only like an inch deep, to use that critics' reviews and stuff, so that they can see where interest is, and then they can dump like development into that and patch out like more stuff for the game?
I think in 3 years, this is the best Bethesda game they've ever made. I don't think it's there yet. I think I probably had a better time.
You're saying 3 years from now?
3 years from now.
Yeah.
In 3 years, this is the best Bethesda game they've ever made.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I just cannot think that it's there yet. I don't know. I think you're probably right. I think they probably make it a little bit deeper than what they have now.
And they might already have some stuff, but they didn't want to.
I'm sure they have some stuff in the works for sure. Like they cannot.
Because maybe they didn't want to release everything. Like, or, initially, because they're like, okay, we're not really sure like how people are going to react to this. So let's get some feedback.
Well, they gotta have to have DLC for extra
for the whales
extra
out
credits.
there.
Yeah.
So they already got Ryan on the 35.
Please give me microtransactions. I'm on board for that.
Well, you're already at
you need a
600,000 credits.
Nicolas Cage flashlight
I do.
or the Todd Howard flashlight.
Oh yeah, the mods for
Phil Spencer.
Starfield. Yeah, those are nice.
So stupid.
I didn't even know I had a flashlight until I was like, I want that flashlight.
But I mean, I'm enjoying like the combat part of this.
The combat is
The gunplay
so
is
improved.
so nice.
It's
Yeah,
so far
it's
improved
improved.
above anything they've ever done.
Yes.
It's crazy that Fallout is a shooting game and this has better shooting.
I mean,
I think.
Fallout. Shooting's bad. Like,
Yes. Yes.
This is
That's why
also a
there's bats.
shooter,
Yes.
right?
And they also have, there's a couple, they should implement this more, but there is 0G battles.
Yeah.
So you're just floating in space. You're not in space, but like in this like room, and you can just like use your jetpack to kind of like move around and shoot and fly towards people. And
Right.
It's they should have more of that, but they don't have that as much as they should. But I mean, like you said, you enjoy the ship flying.
Yeah.
I love battling in space with the ships.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dogfighting.
the dog fighting.
Okay.
Oh, it is so fun.
It's cool to get behind somebody, like bank it around real quick behind them.
Yeah, and then you can aim at certain parts of their ship. So if you want to get rid of their what's the engine that lets them
The warp drive.
warp drive.
Grab drive.
Yeah, grab drive.
Warp, not warp. Grab.
Yeah.
Grab drive.
You could shoot that out so they can't get away, and then you
Go
can
to
shoot out
warp 7.
Yeah, exactly. And you can shoot their engines out so they just stall and they're just sitting there floating.
Yeah.
You know, and then once they get like pointing towards you, they'll start shooting at you. But then that's when you can dock them, and then that's when you can try to steal their ship and stuff like that if it works. But I think that's pretty cool, is docking and then invading their ship and killing all of them.
So I did that, and I accidentally destroyed the drive. I wasn't aiming for it or shooting it. Like, it's just like, hey, you knocked their drive out. And I was like, all right. So I knocked their engines out, and they were almost dead.
Yes.
So I docked on this ship, killed everybody in it. It's a massive ship. It's one of the biggest ships in the game. I looked it up. And I couldn't fucking drive it.
What?
Because I was only level A.
Yeah,
and I
you
need to be
can't.
level C.
You need to level that up.
And so I asked on Reddit, I was like, what are the chances this ship is still going to be here,
Yeah.
like, when I am ready to drive it? And they were like, oh, man.
Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be there. It's going to disappear. So I'm sure I've lost it by now. I'm still only at level.
legendary ship, and you can't do
Yeah, I
anything
can't do
with
anything with it.
Damn.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed about that.
Yeah.
And one of the recommendations, reading through the Reddit post, was like, keep a skill point unspent for
Yes.
when you need to. You never know when you need that extra security, or
Yep.
if I got mine maxed out now, but that extra ship level. Like if I had 1 or 2 unspent, I could have at least done 1.
Yeah, you can only do 1, and then you have to complete
Right.
like a challenge for it, like shoot 30 ships down or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, all those points are pretty good, and I think how do you guys like the characters in this game? Because
I hate Vasco's voice.
I got rid of him.
I think his cadence is really annoying, and like I think it's a cool design for a robot.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound to me like robotic enough or robotic in the right ways. I'm not really sure what I don't like about it.
Yeah.
But I was like, he's got to go.
Yeah.
Like I am
got
not
rid of
running
him
around.
instantly.
get rid of him too.
And
And
I
I heard he's like the best companion to have.
Well, I like him standing outside my ship. So
Yes.
if I land somewhere and I'm
He
supposed
will
to fight,
he will defend this.
he'll just book it out there and just start fighting people. I'm like, yeah, you go, buddy. You got this. But I mean, I had Sarah, right? That's her name. I had her.
I
with
sent
me.
her back to consolation. I said, "You just stay there."
Dude, every time I went over limit of my weight,
Yep.
she's like,
Do you really need all that
you
stuff?
really? I'm like, yes, I do.
Right.
Now leave me alone.
And you need it too.
You need
Here's
it.
135 pounds worth of shit.
But like the AI in this game isn't the greatest.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
I'm
the
not
same-
sure they've made a huge
it's the
amount of
same
improvements
AI.
in those
It's
systems
the same AI
for
as
this game.
Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this stuff is
It's just grafted onto a larger game for sure.
Yeah. 'Cause I'll be shooting, and then she just like walks slowly right in front of me, and I'm just like,
Yep. Now
what
you're
are
shooting
you
her.
doing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, get out of my way. She does that all the time. Or if I'm crouching and I'm like trying to sneak,
Yeah. This is
she'll just get up and
run
like,
by.
just charge right in there. I'm like, what are you doing?
That's
What
why
are you
it's better
doing?
to be by yourself.
Yeah.
I don't need a I found this, like I said, I went for a while without any companion. I was like, you just sit on the ship, you do your thing. Then I found this pirate chick, and so she's really good at shooting, so I carry her around wherever I go now. But other than that, I think I have a better experience being by myself without a companion.
I am at the part with Sarah though where I can't get rid of her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like I've
Yes.
just been stuck
so,
there.
So
Yes.
you've been stuck there the whole time.
That's what happened to me too.
Yes.
So I did that, and I was like, I don't care how long this takes. I'm getting rid of this woman.
Well, she was
I
like, hey,
finished
go
that
to
quest.
Mars. And I was like, hey, Mars is pretty fucking cool. Let me check out Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I haven't been to the moon. I've not to that section yet.
Yep. No, I
Because-
got rid of her as soon as I could.
yeah.
She got mad at me right away. I was like, I got to get rid of this. Like, that's the one thing I don't like about Constellation. They say we don't care.
That's what she said at the beginning. She was like, we don't really care if you bend the rules that much, just so long as like you're completing your exploration missions. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And then
I guess I'll test that limit.
Have you been completing your exploration?
No, I haven't done one. of
There
those.
we go. There's the problem.
Oh, I've got to earn the credits.
yeah,
You
you are
can
not
kill
lying.
1,000 people just so long as these planets get explored. It's a,
You bring back more of those shards, baby. Yeah. You can do whatever you want.
I think I found 3 shards.
There-
That's as far as I've gotten.
There is a lot of shards.
there's more than one shard?
There's more than one. There is a lot. You
Wow.
build like there's a lot more to it.
I found on a couple of planets what looked to be larger versions of those. And it's just like things they don't seem to do anything. You just scan them and they're like alien artifact or whatever.
You need a quest. You need to go through the main quest
Oh, shit.
in order to get to scan those, because you scan those and then it like kind of like your scanner kind of starts warping, and like the more it warps, that's the direction you need to go to.
Man, I found like 3 of those.
Yeah. So then
I'm going to have to go
Anymore.
back and explore those again?
yes.
Shit.
Well, I mean, you've already found them, so you can fast travel to them.
Okay.
But
Okay, yeah.
But they like lead you to the actual main building that you find the artifact in.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Or
So you've been to like 4 planets that have artifacts on it.
Yeah.
You can't do anything with it.
Oh, like, oh, this is lame. I guess we'll just harvest all the shit that's growing on it. I was pretty disappointed.
For the longest time, I thought you had to have the laser out to scan things. And I found that you don't, like, I was just carrying that laser because I thought you had to. You don't.
Do you need to carry the laser to mine the shit, though? Because I have not gotten rid of my original laser.
I still have the original laser too.
Okay.
I just don't carry it with me because I don't mind.
There are different types of lasers though.
Yes.
Oh.
There are different kinds. Because I thought this was like a machine gun, but it was just a laser, a mining laser. And I'm like,
I have a machine gun.
Oh yeah, like the big giant
Yeah,
one.
I have a big
yeah,
one.
like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
like,
a minigun. I have a minigun.
Another thing I saw on Reddit, I should
It's
have
really
saved the
heavy
post,
and it's terrible to carry around, but it's fun.
was one guy had mentioned, and it got a lot of upvotes, that he feels like the game is sterile, was the word he used. Like there's not enough dirt. He talked about the cannibal mission that you get in Fallout 4 and some of the like weirder shit that happens in Skyrim as far as like the magic stuff goes, and like dungeons where they've like torn people to pieces in Oblivion, or there are
even the pirate-
implications, or the game implies those things even if it doesn't directly show them.
Even the pirate missions are pretty soft. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they talk about, well, if you cross the fleet, you're gonna get it.
Right.
But no, you don't ever see anybody get it.
never get
Besides when you give it to them. So I could see that.
I think, yeah, there it is. Thank you, Malcolm. So this is by Horror Cosmic. It was posted 1 day ago. Got about 3,000 upvotes. You go ahead and click on it.
Okay.
So he says, I love Bethesda games, but mainly for the weird and crazy stuff that you see, the what the fuck moments. I haven't really found anything like this in Starfield. Am I just missing these missions, or is the game sterile? If I think back to Fallout 4, where they had a quest to check out a cannibal family, crashed alien ship, wild wasteland full of stuff happening, Vault-Tech's inhumane experiments, that made you go, what the fuck? Even the DLC of Point Lookout was a trippy dreamscape. And let's not forget nuking Megaton, which I did forget, and that was fucked up.
Yeah.
And he kind of continues on
that was the
with
one
examples.
thing that Starfield's kind of, I felt so far, I haven't got very far into the story missions, but it's missing that Megaton moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Unless you treat the Megaton moment like the ship and you kill all those people.
Yeah.
I guess I could see that.
Yeah.
There is a chance that you just throw a bomb in their grav drive.
Yep.
So is this more like saying that like every place that they go to isn't like jam packed with everything? Is that what?
I don't think that's what he's
No.
meaning.
Okay.
He
No, no.
means
Because I was gonna say
it's
like this is space. Like you're not. There are gonna be like
empty
some.
spaces, right?
Yeah, where like this is a moon. There's like
Fuck all.
Yep.
Fuck all to do on this moon.
like this is it. Like thank you for
Actually,
stopping. Grab a brochure, send a postcard.
I found that moons have more than planets. A lot of times, the moon is what gets settled in
Yeah.
the planets in this game.
No, I think what he's saying is more. It's like he could have used the word vanilla in
Yeah.
place of
Yeah.
the word
Yeah,
sterile, and I think it might have been a little like gotten his point across a little bit
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
It feels really vanilla.
Yeah. There is no, wow, what happened there?
What the heck
Yeah.
is this? Like,
Okay.
what?
And the
Like
parts
I was a pirate, and the edgiest pirate is the guy, the banker for the pirates, who's got a bomb on his chest so he can't leave. Like that's the edgiest thing in
Right,
the pirate
right.
ship. Is like the banker can't leave because he's got a bomb implanted in his chest.
right,
So
and that's maybe a little bit basic.
yeah,
So I think there should be like, you're talking about nuking what's that, Megaton?
Megaton,
Yeah.
yeah.
There should be a option to nuke like a planet.
Yeah.
Just destroy the
Yes.
entire planet.
like
yeah, that
go
should be-
Death Star.
Yeah.
Death Star on
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah.
I want my Death Star moment in Starfield. Absolutely.
Sorry, that is a funny comment right
So
there.
the top comment on the Reddit post for the sterile is 1,000 planets and I can only romance 2 women. Feels quite realistic. Yeah. Thank you for Original Fluff for putting that on there. Fantastic comment.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably right.
wonder
The
if they're
sentient
saving a lot
AI
of it.
quest is kind of cool, and there are just not that many ways that quest can actually end. Because I was looking it up because there are multiple endings, but they all kind of do the same thing or similar things.
Okay.
And like, even I think I told you guys in the group chat, I found a derelict ship and I was like, oh, fucking cool. Like, it's like Dead Space. Like, I found this ship floating. What happened to all these people? And you never really
Find out.
what happened. Like, there's just dead people on it. You steal the ship. Now it's my derelict ship. Like,
So they actually have this thing where, have you ever like ran in like on a planet and there's just random dead animals everywhere?
no.
You guys haven't had that? So
I mean, I killed him.
No, I just be running along and there's just like a bunch of dead animals everywhere. So apparently the game still goes on even if you leave. So there'll be like a predator, like a monster roaming around there and it will kill those animals. They'll be dead there. And once you go there, they're actually just there. And there should be like some animal monster thing or whatever that killed them.
Right.
Is like a terramorph or something is just roaming around somewhere near you. So I think that might have been what you might have seen with that ship, is where they got attacked supposedly,
Right, right.
something along those lines, or it was just like a random like spaceship that was just like supposed to be there for you, but they could have been attacked, boarded, killed, looted, whatever, and then left.
Yeah. And I guess like, you know, if I'm considering it in real life terms, right? Like if I was in the ship and I found a derelict ship, I may not ever know how that happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
so it's believable that I don't know the story, but at the same time, like,
We've been
I wish-
trained. We've been
Yeah,
trained.
like,
to,
I want-
all I got to do is find all of these audio
right.
logs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, where are the audio logs telling me what the fuck happened on the
Did
ship?
you check every computer?
There is, in that particular ship, there was not that many. I'm pretty sure, like, I've been scouring the areas that I'm in, so I'm pretty sure I found everything. There was a data pad, and the data pad was basically like, you know, tell my wife I'm sorry or whatever. Like, okay, that's again pretty vanilla.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do.
Have you run into the Varun cult?
I haven't yet, but I'm part of it.
I stole one of their ships. They landed on a planet, and I was like, mine.
Yeah.
And that's the ship that I've been flying around.
Supposedly those are the real like bad guys, you know.
Yeah.
They're the ones that do like sick, twisted stuff. But I have not done. How did you join them? You joined them, but you never met them. What the hell was that?
That was one of the perk points. Like, if you're one of them, when you jump, you earn oxygen or something. So instead of running like you do, I just jump everywhere.
I chose the one where I get less oxygen, so I'm like uber fucked when I run because I got alien DNA, but you get less oxygen.
I chose to be like, and I've actually seen that come into play where somebody was talking crap about my people, my snake people. And I was like, hey, you know, you don't understand. And they're like, oh, my bad. You know, it was really like to see those choices that you made at the beginning of the game actually do something. Yeah. Besides, you know, the parents or one of those actually do things too. But that's, I mean, you know what it's going to do when you pick it.
Right.
Yeah.
Where mine is like, I'm part of a space cult. I have not met my people yet, but I'm a lizard people.
Congrats. Further down on that post, House Tully says, I agree. It feels very safe. It reminds me of those movies that you go to for PG-13 when by all rights they should be R, but they wanted wider appeal. Like he says, or she, sorry. They like Neon should be a hive of debauchery instead of just people in bright suits.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I can kind of see that. Like, it is rated
M.
Yeah. But just for the killing aspect, probably. There's not that much other shit.
I went to the part of one of my quests. I went to Neon and I went to their private club. And it's it's a quiet place where you can drink.
Oh my God.
Or do drug, whatever that drug is that's on Neon.
Yeah.
It's a quiet place for you to do.
Yeah, they talk about how bad that drug is, but like you never see any ramifications.
No.
You can actually get addicted to that stuff.
I'm sure.
Because there's actual like stuff that helps you get rid of addiction. Or aid section.
Yeah.
But I've never been addicted to anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know in the
I've
game,
not gotten that far either. There is a woman on one of the planets that you go to, or maybe one of the starships that wants you to get her some of that. So I had to go to Neon and steal some of it. I could have bought it, but I stole it. And, and so I got to take it back to her still. I'm not sure what happens, but I bet nothing. Like I bet it's a fetch quest.
Just a fetch quest, yeah.
Maybe just based on like
there's
it's such a night and day difference between this and Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Like, Cyberpunk is fucking dark.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's dirty.
Yep.
Yeah, nudity and there's wieners in your face.
Yep.
Yeah.
No more wieners in my face, please.
Not again.
Not again. Not again. One thing that I like is the interconnectedness of like I've met a guy on a ship who used to be a test pilot for a different faction, but then got recruited by these people to be a fighter pilot.
Okay.
And like I got to talk to him, and he was really against the pirates because he was fighting against them. But then at the end, he's like, I saw you out there. I respect, you are a good pilot. And like, there's
You were
weird.
like, no, I'm not.
No,
I don't know what you saw.
You were looking at the other guy. But I like the way all those factions work together. I hope one of my hopes for DLC is to go into the war that just ended.
Yes.
Some sort of way to learn about that war that just ended between the factions.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that would be the coolest DLC for them to do for us next.
So that was thinking too.
Isn't that part of the UNC quest?
You just learn about it.
Yeah.
They have like little like
The little vignette set
Yeah.
up and
Yeah.
you walk
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was cool.
Like going through a museum, but I'm gonna
I want to actually be there. I want to actually fight.
I see what you're
I want to
saying. I
fight
got
in
you.
that war.
Yeah.
I see.
Because that's where all the dirty, nasty
Yeah.
stuff happened.
There's probably more guns to
Yeah.
loot too.
Oh, a lot. There's giant Mechazord guys.
I know. I
fighting
saw
each
that. Like,
other.
where the fuck are those at?
Yeah.
And they had this one place where they sent a whole Terramorph army attack a whole city. Like
Badass.
dude, like I want to play that game. I
Yeah.
want to play that. Like you said, like a DLC
Yeah.
just to play in that war.
It reminded me of the section of Cyberpunk where you like skip all that shit that you do with
Oh my
Jackie at the
God.
beginning.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
why am I not playing this? Like,
Oh my god.
I like him.
Yeah.
I want to do those missions with him.
Yes.
And now he's fucking dead.
yeah, right away. Yeah.
Or Jackie.
Yeah.
Rip Jackie.
Rip Jackie every time. Yeah.
How did you have the same feels when Jackie died the second time, Ryan?
Yeah, I was bummed. I like Jackie. He's a cool guy. He's a good character. A lot of good characters in that game.
Yeah.
Feel like they probably have a little bit more depth than, just comparing it to the characters in Starfield. I think Horizon is the same way. There's 1,000 characters in that game. And some of them, obviously, side characters and stuff aren't going to be as deep as the main characters in Starfield, but that the story that they are telling in Horizon is really cool, and the way it's presented, I think, is probably arguably better than what I've seen.
Yeah.
The little that I've seen of Starfield's main quest, anyways. The side quests probably give Horizon a run for its money, I think.
Yeah, that's the weird thing.
Horizons are kind of boring.
This is our main pull of this game. Like, we want you to go this way, but all of this stuff is way better.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I think of that as that's your mile wide, and the inch deep is that main story. If you think about it,
Yeah.
like there is all these things to do, but we want you to go this way.
I guess I took it a little bit more literally, but I think that's a definite way you could interpret that for sure.
Yeah, like there are so many things you can do. Why don't you just stick to this boring path?
Well, I mean, like what Ryan was saying, when they just mama bird you and they kick you out of the nest and say, "Okay, have fun."
Yeah,
What are you supposed to do?
Yep.
You just they let you do whatever you want. They're not telling you, "Hey, you have to do this quest." They're just like, "All right, here's your ship." Like Ryan said, "Here's your ship. Go on, have fun."
And there are so few games that have the balls to do that.
Yep.
Like there are so many games that handhold you for the first 20 hours.
Yeah, the
Like-
slow starts. and
Yeah,
stuff.
like even Breath of the Wild, where
Yeah.
you can't get out of the
The main-
beginning
the
area
main-
for
that-
like 20
that
fucking
plant
hours.
Plateau.
Yeah. And I mean, probably should applaud Starfield a little bit for just
Yeah.
letting you do it.
Yeah.
Like, go if you want to just go exist in this universe, do it.
Yep.
We don't care.
Oh, I had one other game-breaking bug.
Okay.
So I was on Aquila City. That's the Freestar Collective, the Cowboys, the
Yes.
Space Cowboys.
Yep.
Every time I was doing some mission and I don't know what happened, but for some reason, every time it saves, it crashes my game.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
In the city itself, like a mission in the city?
In the city. Yeah. And I've gone to the point where I was supposed to catch this thief and I found him, and then like it didn't tell me where to go. And that's when it started happening. And then I tried to save before. I didn't do the mission at all. And now I go to do like other quests, and it's just like every time like quick save or I press start, which I think it automatically quick saves.
Yeah.
It automatically just freezes my game and I can't do anything.
That's
And I really wanted to do go quests on Aquila.
Yeah.
But this also might be a sign to be like, hey, do the main quests and get the new game plus.
Right. Yeah.
right. Stop doing
Quit
this.
messing around and get the new game plus so you can get better stuff. And I don't know. I think yeah. I don't know. That just is very frustrating. Just like with the ship, I can't take any ships. I can't commandeer any ships
Right.
yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully that's not something like with your specific game. I hope you just ran into a
You
situation where it
got
wasn't
the
possible.
unstealable universe.
Unstealable.
Yeah.
That's why I want to get New Game Plus. Hopefully it like resets the game or whatever.
Yeah.
And I can actually do main quests in Aquila City or
Right.
something like that.
So closing thoughts, gentlemen. I think we'll probably end on this here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good game. I think people should try it out, especially if you have Game Pass.
Yeah. Game Pass.
Try
definitely.
that. Try it out. Download it. Play it for a little bit. If you want to play the UPS simulator in it and build a base and it doesn't work, that you could do that. But if you want to do some main quests,
Do not recommend.
do not recommend doing that. But
And the game will let you.
it'll let you do whatever, pretty much whatever you want for the most part. But it's a fun game. I mean, it's the best, like Troy said and you said, it's the best polished Bethesda game and
At launch, at least.
at launch,
Yeah.
in a long time. But yeah, I think it might also be because they have everything in like segments.
Yeah.
So which helps out a lot, I think, instead of having this huge open map. and-
Yeah. It's not,
Right.
everything's not just interconnected.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're on your ship, you're on your ship. If
Yep.
you're on a planet, you're on a planet.
Right.
If you're in space, you're in this little bowl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No matter how far you fly, you won't go anywhere. But yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's an 8 out of 10. I think even though the game breaking stuff that I've kind of had, I think it's still a pretty good game. I like it. I enjoy it. I'm going to keep on playing it. Probably get some new game pluses in, and eventually if they release any DLC or like really good patches, or
Yeah.
like they did with No Man's Sky, I might jump back into it.
They're talking about mod support beginning in 2024, but I don't think they gave a time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which I would probably jump back in definitely for that, because I did
Right.
that with Skyrim when they released that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
and Fallout.
I hope that they
Fallout came out with the mods pretty quick. I feel like that was the fastest one.
I can't remember.
it could have been, but I hope they up the gigage. The gig limit is a 2 gig mod limit on Fallout 4
Okay.
still, and I think it is also that way on Skyrim.
Okay.
And the larger mods like Fallout Miami and Fallout London, which are both large mods coming
Yeah.
out for Fallout 4, are like almost 2 gigs themselves. So you really wouldn't be able to play any other mods if you were to load those in.
So you'd have to just do it on PC.
If you did it on PC, you wouldn't
Yeah.
have the limit. But on Xbox, for whatever reason, they choose to have, and it could have been a RAM thing, like
Xbox 360.
It was a 360 limit, so it could be a
Yeah.
RAM thing on the 360. Obviously, the Xbox One or Series X has a larger, double, triple the amount of RAM
Yeah.
that the 360 did. So we'll see. We'll see what they come up with. I really appreciate them committing to this gen and not trying to force this game
Yeah.
on previous gen like Cyberpunk did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the game's probably somewhere between a 70 and a 75 for me. And I will continue to play it, but I might set it down for a little while and just do Cyberpunk and Horizon for now.
Spider-Man.
Actually, yeah.
Spider-Man.
I might not play Spider-Man. I don't know.
I'll play it for
I
you.
didn't love that first one, so we'll see if the second one does it.
I will play it for you.
I'll
That
play
is
for you too.
that is my plan actually. I have officially set Starfield down for now,
Okay.
and the start of that was playing the COD beta.
Mm-hmm.
Starfield is awesome, and I still, it's weird. I can't wait to go back to it, but I want to set it down for a little bit, and I want to play Spider-Man. I've heard good things. I still should finish the first one though.
Next time, next week, I want to talk about what Phil Spencer has said about the Call of Duty Activision thing.
Yeah.
So we'll just basically Microsoft has officially purchased Activision.
Yes.
So
And ads.
I want to do a little bit of a dive into that, maybe some Activision old IP. Sam and I think the three of us talked on an episode.
Yes.
But I want to have Troy and Colin
Yeah.
on and get their thoughts on it for next week. So we look forward to bringing that to you, the listeners, and we're gonna get out of here for tonight. Night, everybody.
Yes, sir.
See ya.
Peace out.
That's all, folks. What the fuck?
So what's our reason for not recording to the listeners this time? I did get pulled over last time we met on my way home, so we could say that I went to jail, and this is the first time I've been out.
Just get a picture of his face and then have a cop in the background. Yeah. That's some YouTuber stuff right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good thinking.
Good thinking.
good call.
I have no. I mean, it's whatever. We're just trying to get back in the swing of things here. So.
I'm kidding. We should
whatever.
not address the fact
Thank
that
you.
we were off yet.
I wasn't. I didn't want to. So I'm
Good.
glad you said
Like-
not to.
Yeah. Because every time we've addressed it, like something happens and then
Well, we
we're off.
make broken promises and whatever. So we'll just do.
I think that's part of our trademark, though, now. We've done it enough.
That's probably why we don't have anybody listening.
Hey.
In all honesty, I mean, if the four of us probably do.
Okay. That's fine.
Speaking of which, that podcast I was listening to is Starfield Lore, and they have like a program where they bring people in to their podcasts, and they'll like help you. But the only thing is it costs money, and
Costs money.
yeah,
like
so,
real
like,
dollars.
real blooms. Yeah, yeah,
Glorious.
yeah. But he has like 21 other podcasts that he helped start up. And they're already getting like thousands of views and stuff like that. And it's just like a bunch of lore, like Fallout lore, Mass Effect lore, stuff like that. And they have like D&D stuff. I don't know if we did that. I don't know how we would
Sure.
fit into that.
Right.
You know, but
Video game lore.
But I mean, I don't think it has to be video game lore. Like I know you're talking about you wanted to do that.
Inflation.
Yeah, you wanted to do that. That could somehow fit
Sure.
into that if you know.
Well,
wanted to
I mean,
try
I'd be open to like pitching him the idea.
Yeah.
Like maybe he'd be willing to help with it. I mean, I'm not opposed to like a money-based thing, but I just need to know that it's going to work.
Yeah.
Like this is already quite a bit of sunk cost.
Which I can help pay for stuff. That's
Okay.
Since I'm not like editing or anything like that, I can help invest.
Okay. Yes. Investor. That's what I've always wanted.
What's the
Okay.
We're so unprepared for this.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't. I don't have my pitch ready.
faceless benefactor?
Which
Beardless benefactor.
Yeah, that is true.
I'll send a link
Yeah.
to our group chat thing.
Okay.
Just so you guys can kind of look at that and see how well they're doing. I think he's got like I forget how many YouTube subscribers on there, but he has it all over Apple Podcasts, like kind of how we do it.
Yeah.
But
I've had a couple of different times on Reddit where I'm just like scrolling through and seeing stuff on there about like, people are, get on there and just like, hey, will you rate my show?
mm-hmm.
Tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, improvements, like that kind of stuff. And the internet's mean.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if I'm being completely honest,
Yes.
maybe I don't want my ego destroyed that hard. I don't know.
Ah, come on.
I don't know. I mean, I definitely want to know what I'm doing wrong or what we as a collective could do better for sure. But man, people are very mean.
Yeah.
Reddit is no exception.
Yeah, he's got
A lot of those people deserve it though, because there's a lot of bad podcasts.
There are a lot of bad podcasts for sure.
There's a lot that I have
we may not have the worst one available, but
yeah, I just wanted to kind of let you know because he was talking about it in one of his end of his podcasts, how he brings other people in
Okay.
Even people like he's got a bunch of Patreon subscribers and stuff like that, and they come onto the show and they talk about Starfield or whatever, and then they end up making their own podcast, like a Mass Effect one or Assassin's Creed one, like lore stuff.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, that might give us some stuff, you know?
Yeah, there's been a couple of those that I've just stumbled upon throughout the years, and I've never actually committed any money to them. You know, people who are, oh, I'll start up your podcast. I've got 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. I've made millions of dollars. Like,
Yeah.
how do you trust that? Like, I don't know. And then I also like sit back and, I don't know, do I want that? Do I want to live in the spotlight? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I would like this to be a semblance of successful, but I don't want to be a YouTuber, I guess, if that, I don't know. I think I have less respect for those guys than I probably should. Because I'm sure they work very hard, but like, fuck. Sometimes they're just dipshits.
I mean,
That's true.
stupid cells.
That's true.
A year from now, I'm doing your makeup before we go in. Like, it doesn't look perfect. I see the blemish.
Should have done it today.
Right.
All right, you ready to get going here?
Yeah.
Yeah, do the clappy.
Okay.